Ladies and gentlemen, Slycem here with SlycemGaming, and we are live. Finally, finally, I make it. It has been a long afternoon. Actually, probably like a long last 20 minutes. Well, okay, lied, not 20 minutes. 3 hours. Yeah, we'll give it that. A very long 3 to 4 hours. It could have been longer. I don't know. It was brutal. I guess probably close to 4 hours. So yeah, just got home and we are live. As soon as I walked in the door, grabbed some change of clothes. Didn't even notice I ended up here with a sleeveless shirt. So pardon the sleeveless, but yeah. So here we go. We're gonna be taking a look at masteries tonight, talking about that along with a couple other things. We're not necessarily going to look at necessarily a setup, but we're going to go over the masteries, talk about which ones are worth having, which ones are garbage, and explain maybe why they're garbage, what to be looking for, and some of the things like that. So, unfortunately, I did get here a little later than expected, so that is going to hamper our time a little bit, and I do apologize about that. Unfortunately, real life caught up to me, and I got stuck late at work. So, let me tell you, it was an interesting one on top of it. Whew. But hey, we made it. We're here. So let's be thrilled about it and let's make the best of it. So, what's up, Anthony? What's up, Star? Good seeing you guys. Camaro says he's here. James Killa says, I need this. Well, good, man. We're going to be giving it to you here. Buzzard728, what's up? Eternal Warrior 2. Good seeing you, man. There's Chid as well. So let's start getting some of the crew here on the phone and get moving forward. And again, I do apologize about being a little on the late side.
Quick trigger tonight.
Oh man, let me tell you. Oof.
So being in the car industry, I feel your pain, man. I feel your pain.
Oh man.
$15, I hear you, and like people are gonna go, what? $15? But it happens all the time.
What's sad, Anthony, is it actually ended up being even less than that. It was. Long story short, a customer had a couple different things. One payment was off by like $4, another by like $15. It was insane. It was insane, and the crazy part was at one point in time I was ready to throw the guy out of my dealership, and before we left, we were all sitting outside just chatting, and the guy was like, dude, I got to come back and take you and my salesman. He's like, I got to take you guys out to lunch. I didn't realize you guys go through this much headache to get me this vehicle. And I was like, you have no idea, man.
Oh, it's brutal. And some of the people are just brutal.
Oh yeah.
They try to pinch a penny every which way they can.
Oh, it's brutal. Absolutely.
And they always want something for free too. They think because they're spending that much money that they're entitled to something free.
Well, it's like I told this guy tonight. I go, we've got all these programs and it's great. I said, but I go, yeah, you're not paying for it. It's free to the consumer. But I go, who do you think pays for it? I go, I pay for it. It comes out of my check. I'm the one paying for it. Somebody's paying. I looked at him, the guy. I said, how old are you? He told me. I said, when's the last time you ever got anything and it was truly free? And he looked at me and he just grinned. And I go, okay, my point exactly. I said, you ain't paying for it. No, it's free to you, but somebody's paying for that. I said, that somebody's me. So, what's up, Jamie? Good seeing you. If that's who I think it is, thanks for stopping in. It's good seeing you. She's actually a car person as well. What's up, Shrub? Good seeing you, my friend. Hit up my DMS. Good seeing you. Pitt, welcome, welcome. Aaron Hoodie's saying he is frustrated at his tablet.
Yeah.
Every time I turn around, Hoodie, you're having some sort of problem with your tablet.
Yeah, try deleting the app from your tablet and then re-downloading it. If that doesn't work, check your latest update. And if that doesn't work, contact Kabam, because that's what they're going to tell you to do anyway.
Yep.
In that order.
So yeah, let's see here. Aaron says he can't get back in the game, dude. You got to get a different a different tablet, brother. James, we're not going to necessarily rank most useful to the least needed, or needed the least. I think more so what we'll probably do here is just simply look at each mastery and say worth it or not. How, and if it's worth it, just how worth it. How important is it? We didn't really get a chance to really discuss this because I literally just got home from work. Like, I walked in my door, changed my clothes, grabbed my shorts and a t-shirt, grabbed the hat, grabbed my bottle of water, and ran downstairs. So, what's up, John? Good seeing you, buddy. We are getting ready to start here shortly. Let me reboot the iPad up here. So yeah. Hey, what's up, John Wesley? All right.
Did you see our Alliance chat? Someone posted a picture of their masteries, and they actually used unfazed.
Really?
Yeah.
What's up, Chris Beck? Good seeing you, buddy. All right. I'm going to go ahead and start getting everybody in here on the call. In the meantime, I have to run back upstairs for one quick thing. Alright. Adam's saying, has the stream been blurry for anyone else? If so, let me know, but... Oh, the hat's awesome. Can never go wrong with a good Boston Red Sox hat.
Hell yeah.
Alright. I even forgot what I was doing. Chid, you there? I see him in there. I'll grab Jacob.
Never go wrong with a good boss.
Hello.
Hey, what's up? Alright. And you guys know how to add somebody. Oh, who cares? Let's holler at Frojo here.
Hi, iMac.
There's the
Oh.
iMac.
Another title. Ugh.
Of course, of course.
I must have got 30 of them.
I don't even want to know how many I got. They're so redundant, so boring, and yet not enough crystals. So, hey, what's up, Q Lion? Good seeing you, buddy.
What's going on?
What's up, Frojo?
It's Frojo. Alright, let me exit this quest. By the way, I'm down to just the last part of Act 5, Chapter 2. So,
Yeah, I did it today. Well, last night and this morning. I tried to get as much done as I could before AQ started, and had to use all my champs in AQ.
uh-huh.
Surprisingly, I like blasted through the first 4 chapters.
Yeah, the first 4 wasn't too bad, so. Alright,
I didn't even try the 5th yet, though.
I will be right back, and we will get this conversation started. Somebody see if you can get, or I'll text Bulldog while I'm at it. I'll be back, and we'll get this thing going.
Okay.
FC Barcelona, me, Slycem, and Bulldogs Alliance was like 4,400, I think. It was like 43,9 something. It was just under 4,400.
FC Barcelona is probably excited for the game tomorrow.
Oh, I forgot you were a soccer fan. Who's playing?
Barcelona and Real Madrid. It's the
Real
probably
Madrid still like top of the class.
yeah.
And they call it El Clasico.
Yep. Biggest rivalry, I think, at least.
We do map 5 FC.
I think that's the same FC Barcelona from my
From your group?
global chat.
Oh.
It's probably, I don't know if it's he or she, so I'm gonna say it's that person.
What
And
I
Bulldog,
IMAC.
All right.
we did Bulldog give us confirmation that he did not throw his puppies.
Yeah, I talked to Bulldog earlier today. He did not throw the dogs.
Okay.
The dogs are safe, thankfully. And Bulldog is going to make it for another day. Welcome, Bulldog. Can you hear us?
Hey-o.
Hey. What's
What's
up,
up?
Refugee? What's up, Bulldog? Good seeing you guys.
Yeah, it is good seeing me.
Oh,
Hey, Bulldog.
What's up?
What it do?
People think it ain't what it is, but it do.
Exactly.
Right.
And what's up, Black Panther? Are we Civil War or regular? Because we have to know.
I think it's regular.
Most
Doesn't he have
definitely.
a picture? I think he has a picture.
It's looking
Yeah, it
Civil
kind of
War.
looks like classic to me.
Let's picture
No.
Civil War.
Hit up my DM, says baseball is dope. No. Baseball players are doping. It's not the same thing as baseball is dope.
True.
That is a accurate statement.
They're not as bad as they used to be, but it's still out there. By the way, what's up,
It's
Sean
not in
Smith?
the public eye like it was.
Well,
I doubt it's any better.
Oh, it's got to be. Here, let's take a look at it. When you look back on somebody like Mark McGuire, the dude was huge. Barry Bonds grew by leaps and bounds. So it's obvious it's down.
They are looking more realistic, yes. I will say that.
It's down. It may not be as bad, or it's still there, mind you, but I don't think it's as bad, thankfully. So.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Although they did save baseball.
They did.
What's up, Ozzy?
All
That's
right.
true. Hey, what's up, Eternal Warrior? Quick shot.
Wow, looky here. We got everybody showing up. All right. So again, guys, tonight, Italian
Joe, you shut your dirty mouth.
Oh, and I was liking you.
I thought you were a friend. Good Lord. Friends don't let friends watch the Yankees.
Exactly. You should be a Boston Red Sox fan.
Yeah, what? Absolutely. Who's a Yankees fan?
Italian Joe.
Italian Joe. Does that surprise anybody, though? He's an Italian guy who lives in New York.
I'll tell you right now, Aaron Judge is a one-hit wonder.
Who's that?
The Yankees, phenom, who's hitting 9,000 home runs this season.
I haven't watched much. I've been keeping up with the Red Sox. Sale is an absolute beast.
Oh my God! Can I tell you how great of a day it was when I heard about that trade?
Well, I can imagine. So yeah. But all right, here we can sit here and talk sports all night. Unfortunately, tonight we are here to take a look. Correct, IMAC, they do, but they normally are used in the gym to help you. And actually, roids do help you get bigger because they add water weight. You're thinking of human growth hormone, HGH. HGH helps you recover even faster. It's more of a recovery type deal.
Yeah. Which
Yeah, in fact, that's the pitchers. Yeah, I think it's ripe amongst the pitchers, because they're the ones who need the recovery more than anybody else.
Yeah, because apparently you can recover from Tommy John surgery in 6 months now.
I was going to say, yeah, exactly, 6 weeks, and then you're good to go.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's not chemically enhanced.
HGH.
You know what's the funny, though? Every time I see, whenever I see anybody put the Yankees, I immediately think of that episode of The Family Guy when Peter finds out that Lois can fight. So he walks into the bar, it's all the New Yorkers. He goes, Yanks suck, Mets suck, Knicks suck. And then the bar all starts fighting with his wife. So every time I see Yankees, that's all I can think of is Yankees suck, Knicks suck, Mets suck.
There is nothing better than a Yankees-Red Sox game in Fenway.
Oh, it's amazing. So.
Wouldn't
All
know.
right.
I'm a shy Sox guy.
Ooh, interesting. I lived up there, but that's another different day. So, all right, well, let's take a look at masteries. I'll just bring them up on my screen. And again, my masteries could probably be redone. I'm halfway tempted to even reset mine. We can even have fun with it. But for the sake of argument tonight, I'm just going to bring them up. We can look at masteries and discuss what's needed, what's not needed, what mastery is important. Excuse me. And which ones you can do without. So
you can do without unfazed. I'll tell you that.
We will start all the way over in utility and work our way to offense, where obviously I think the most points go. So
where you're gonna get the most bang for your buck.
The only thing I don't understand is why you don't utilize those points. Like, I get that you don't like, but it's like a waste that they're just like, you can put them in courage. You can max out courage and get an extra 20% damage when you're half life.
Well, to be quick,
And pacify.
Well, and here's the thing. So
and pacify.
There's a large part of me that has totally forgot that I have 3 mastery points sitting here, to be quite honest with you. So we'll probably place those tonight. So let's go ahead and start. The way we'll do it will work. We'll just I'll click on a mastery. We'll talk about it, and then we'll go from there. Oh, excuse me. My nose is acting up a little bit. All right. Here.
Looks like the chat's full on baseball.
Hey, Anthony, check your line messages real quick.
All right.
Slycem, what do you think of taking a 5-star rank 3 Captain Marvel for Act 5? I think you should be okay.
Awakened?
Yeah. Should get through a good chunk of it.
Yep.
Yeah, because the rank 3 is slightly higher than a 4.
If it's duped, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
If it's not
Well,
duped, it's a moot question anyway.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at these. First one we look at here is very simple. It's XP.
Come here, buddy.
There's really no reason for anybody to put these in unless you are just wanting to quickly level up. I can't think of a reason to put anything in there. Does anybody have a reason for XP here that I'm missing?
Nope. Nope.
Yeah. No.
Nope.
Never.
I mean, maybe in the first 20, 30 levels, but
That's what I was thinking. When I built my second account, I put points up there and unlocked the other one because I wanted to get up to the 50s quicker. But once you hit level like 50, it's completely even lower probably, level 40, and you don't need it anymore because you're gonna get there eventually.
Star, that's the thing. People argue that with Pacify, they don't see the benefit in Mystic Dispersion because they're stopping the abilities, which I say they are crazy.
that's awesome.
All right. Let's see here.
And that's the bottom line because Stone Cold says so.
I was gonna say I'm trying to figure out who Billy says sound like Stone Cold. That was so wisdom. We have no need, guys. It's just not really needed. As you can see, I used it early on as well because I thought that leveling would mean something, and quickly I found out it really doesn't. So be it. The other one here is the gold, +1 gold with all gold. Again, there's really no reason for this. So in the utility line, the top line, forget about it. It doesn't exist. Don't go there. So let's start down here at the bottom where it really starts to matter. In that case, Billy, sometime I will say that line for you. So we got Limber. Limber is basically reducing your stun by 8%. It goes up 8% each rank as far as I know. Guys, what's your thoughts here on Limber as we go down these? As we go down these?
That's what makes what's her name, Rogue, so nice on defense. People say you don't see the benefit if you're in between 1 and 5. I don't know why. I don't know if someone else can prove that.
The benefit can be seen. My argument for not putting more than 1 point in there is you should not be getting stunned that often. If you're getting stunned a lot, you need to go practice. Plain and simple.
I agree. However, that is a fantastic mastery for 2 reasons. One,
War defense.
war defense, and early players who do struggle, who are finding their skill.
Sure.
It'll save you there, and it's just for defense. It makes that mixed with Mystic Dispersion makes magic on a boss node or any node really, just that much better. That's a fantastic mastery.
I kind of feel. Oh, go ahead.
Interesting enough, Quick Shot here runs it maxed out.
Yeah, mine's at 4.
Mine's at 1.
But Chid's right though. Each increment, like if you do them like one at a time and then wait until you get your next one and you have some time in between them, it is hard to see the reduced time unless you go from 1 to 5.
Sure.
I just still make the argument, like, in my opinion, the very first point I think that you should be spending on masteries is limber. That should be point number 1, because point number 2 should be parry or dexterity. Like, those are the 2 most important skills in the game are parry and dexterity, and limber is your way into those. So I think I almost look at it like a curve. It's like you should put a point into limber, then you should do dexterity, then parry, and then you should build those up, and then circle back if you want to limber. But I still make the argument, I almost never get stunned, and I can't possibly see wasting more than 1 point in there when you reach, it's something that you could start out big and slowly reduce it as you get better and better and better.
Yeah, but let's face it, when people first see masteries, they think, oh, with the strength, just max those out because reasons. That's what the majority of people have done.
Do you see this mastery used in Tier 1?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's times where, like, when I parry people, like, it's like, I'm like, oh, suck, I'm in trouble, oops. Especially on characters like Agent Venom, or people that
We're
shrug it
already
off quickly.
It's like the Iceman effect when you break his ice armor, right?
Just
That
about,
one's...
Angel
I don't know if
says,
I
is there
heard
any
the
way
two.
for you to send you guys my masteries?
Yeah.
There is.
Yeah, line.
You can send them to us on the Line app, and we'll be happy to look at them. All right, so we all agree limber has some use. It's a better question of personal play, I think. The more you get, obviously, the more you notice. So that's a huge deal. And it's interesting because you have some very seasoned players saying they got it at 5, and you have others saying no, really none at all.
Yeah, it depends if you want it for defense, or like Bulldog said, if you're good enough, you just don't need it.
Yep, I never run more than 1 point, and I only have that 1 point because I have to get those other ones.
Yeah, Angel.
I only run it for war.
Angel, just add me on Line app Projo34. I'm probably the easiest to find, and I'll get it. I'll get you added to our SlycM line group, and you can just pop it in the chat.
See, what I find weird is if you've got maxed out Stupefy, which is the one that extends stun?
Stand your ground.
Stupefy.
No. Stupefy.
Mm-hmm.
Right, if you've got a maxed out Stupefy, which adds, I think, second and a half, 2.5 seconds, I would think that in most situations that would override their limber. Because their limber is going to drop it by 40%, but if you're extending it by, however many seconds, it's only going to drop it by 40% of that. So you're still getting the benefit of having, you get 3 out of 3. So it's an extra, it's only half a second. Never mind.
Limber is 48% at rank 5.
Right. I still wouldn't waste my time, yeah.
All right.
Like Jacob said, it's something to really catch people off guard in war. And
sure,
set it for your war defense, change it back when you go do everything else. That's basically what the top tier people do.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Do you want to?
So you're saying I have to do that if I want to be like the cool kids? Is that what you're saying, Projo?
I don't know if we're talking about cool kids, but Wells maybe, yeah.
Can you elaborate a little bit on that and what you mean by Can
like,
you elaborate?
there's like, yeah. Like the people that, like the top tier, the top alliances that are serious about war, everybody in the alliance changes their alliance to a defensive mastery setup. That's going to include Mystic Dispersion. That's going to include Limber. That's going to include Willpower. Because, I mean, I don't run Willpower unless I'm running Suicides normally. But even when I run my defense setup, I don't run Suicides, but I still run Willpower because anytime they put a debuff on me, I'll get health, you know? So it helps. Every little bit helps. Whatever makes it the most difficult for the opponent fighting you.
And you can set your defense and then switch your masteries, correct?
Yeah, it locks
Mhm.
Yeah. Set your masteries, set your defense, put them all in their spaces, and then you can change your masteries back to whatever you want.
Yeah, I
One
wanted people to know that. I feel like not a lot of people know that.
one thing, let's be sure to remind people that each mastery affects each champ differently, and some greatly benefit from these.
That's true. You know,
So probably
some champs will see a bigger return out of some things. For example, Limber may not do a whole lot for certain champs, but like Rogue, like people are saying, man, imagine her on some of that quick bounce back that she's going to have. So there's definitely different reasons for different champs.
Yeah, Rogue and Karnak.
And King Groot.
Yep.
And normal Groot.
So
Yeah, that's true.
all right.
All right.
What's next?
Bart
Next.
just dropped. I mean, Angel just dropped his masteries on the line chat.
Okay, cool. Let's see here. Next up, we've got dexterity.
Number 1 or number 1A most important mastery on this list?
Yeah, I was going to say, I think we can all agree that this is the first and most important one you get.
Yep.
This should be the second. When you start playing, this should be the second point you spend. The first one should go to Limber, and the second should go to dexterity.
Does anybody use more than 1 point though?
No.
People do for crit builds.
Yeah, I didn't.
The vast majority of people are only putting 1 point in there.
Yeah, I only ever put 1
vast
point. Yeah.
Majority. Yeah. I don't want to confuse people too much with, if you're at the point where you're putting multiple points in there, it's because you know what you're, you know why you're doing it. But for most players, 1 point is going to be all you're going to put in there.
Well, I think the opposite. I think a lot of people are confused how it works and think it's good to max it out and don't understand that it only affects the very next hit after your dexterity.
Correct.
Yeah.
Real quick.
All that matters is
And
getting the ability.
100% chance to crit either. It's still a lesser than 100% chance. So
Correct.
that's why 1 point's only necessary.
And real quick here, Quick Shot says, get evade punched on a chance to stun node in Alliance War and tell me how 1 point treats you.
Does it mean martial mastery?
So, let's see here.
Hey, do you want to bring Quickshot onto the call?
We can hear in a few. Right now, let's keep this here and keep moving. We'll grab some people as we go.
Well, I got to go walk the dog, so if you want to bring him in, just let me know and I'll go do my walk.
All right, we'll look at making it a move. So, a lot of people are really talking about, it's one of the top masteries here for dexterity, but really you only need 1. And guys, that's absolutely right. I don't see a reason to put more than 1 there.
Yeah, the critical hit thing is just like a tiny little bonus, because like Tony said, it's just the next hit after that. The only reason you're getting dexterity is so that you have the ability to dodge, to 100% dodge attacks. That's what it's there for. So you may as well just ignore the whole critical part because it doesn't matter. It's not going to have any real effect on your game. But being able to evade is going to make a huge difference.
I mean, depends on what the next attack is. Because if you do like using Iron Man and just save his SP2, then get that crit bonus and just parry, then use it, it could do a lot of damage.
Yeah, but you might crit
one hit at a time. Yeah, you might get the crit anyway.
Yeah.
Hey,
Projo, what was the mastery that Quickshot wanted to talk about?
He has strong feelings on using willpower when
Willpower. Yeah.
not running suicides.
Yeah. Want to get him on for that at least?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Real quick, my name says some great news. He opened a 5-star glacial crystal today and got Iceman.
Nice.
That's nice.
That's awesome.
Hey, Jacob, do you run a point in dexterity when you do your defense setup?
What do you mean, defense setup?
When you run your defense mastery for Alliance War, do you put a point in dexterity?
My masteries never change, so yeah. I don't switch it for defense.
Mine never do. I think that's a huge waste of units.
You're going with that, Frojo, and that's actually quite brilliant.
I mean, to me, it's kind of a wasted point if you set your if you're switching your defense masteries. I kind of think using a point in dexterity is a waste. I mean, your defensive player doesn't really capitalize on dexterity.
Sure, makes sense. All right. Let's see here. Refugee says someone said that maxing dexterity for the web slinger event was a good idea. Question mark.
Who?
I don't think anybody said that for dexterity. Somebody was saying that, I think, for limber maybe. But yeah.
I don't think he was saying one of us said it. He's just saying somebody said.
Does one of them stun you?
Yeah, I think it's Miles Morales.
Yeah. All right, moving on. Let's take a look at parry here. As you can see, I've got mine maxed out. Parry to me is a big one. I enjoy parrying. Obviously, 25% reduced damage. Not to mention they are stunned for up to 2 seconds.
Yeah, essential.
Yes.
Yeah, that's point number 3 that you should spend. That right there is your first 3 mastery points. Limber, then dexterity, then parry. Because those are the 2 primary mechanics within the game that'll help keep you from dying rapidly.
And gems that benefit from these the most are Nebula and Thor.
Yeah.
DMR completely disagrees with me on that point on dexterity on defense.
The AI
does
not dexterity.
The AI dodges me, evades all the time, especially at the end of combos and stuff like that. I see it quite often.
I mean,
so obviously they're using dexterity.
I mean, in war you mean? Yeah.
I ain't never seen him do it.
You've never seen the AI evade. That's insane.
Never.
Yeah, but that's not dexterity.
I'll video record it. It happens all the time.
I mean,
in the arena.
I mostly see evade champions evade. I usually, if anything, they block my attacks, not evade them.
Yep. Same here.
It happens to me quite a lot if they finish out if I do block and they finish out a 5-hit combo. When I go to return the next hit, I'd say 50% of the time they evade that. They do, dexterity pops up and they evade that hit.
Oh.
In Quest and in War.
I could see that, yeah. I could see that. I never block through a 5-hit combo.
I rarely do, but I'm saying on those occasions when I'm forced to, they almost always will, 50% of the time they'll evade right afterwards.
I see you there. I see you there.
All right, so I think we see here, parry is definitely something that we want to see. Definitely a must-needed mastery.
And maxed out.
Yes.
Because at max rank, you take the least amount of damage on a parry, which is key.
So, again, guys, if you're new, parry is one of those that you want to go for early. You want to get it maxed out. It is a massive game changer for you. So, I barely slept yesterday, my name. That part is correct. So, all right, moving on through it. You got Stupefy.
What?
The Dog Whisperer.
I think they're saying, we're ready for our walk, Dad.
Yep. So, moving on here, you got Stupefy. This increases the duration of a stun. I've got it maxed out, and it is by 0.5 seconds.
Yep.
Thoughts?
Get it.
Get it.
Love
yeah.
it.
I think it's essential because and a lot of people don't do it because of the half second. It seems so not worth it. It's not a long enough time. But
that's why.
that half second at the end of a combo is enough to get that 6th hit, which then starts a whole nother 5-hit combo.
The real reason people didn't want it was because of Thor.
Is awesome.
Was when
What
he
do you
could.
Go ahead, Chid.
I was just gonna say when Thor used to stack armor brick to 5. That was why people didn't run it.
Yeah. Jacob, what do you think about Stupefy on Alliance War defense setup? I mean, you say you don't change yours, but still, like, if you did change yours, would you max it? What would you do?
I'd leave it there, yeah.
Yeah,
I think I would too.
I would too.
Interesting. So real quick, guys, just so you see here, Stupefy is an extra half a second, but a maxed out parry as well increases it to 2. So all in all, between a maxed out parry and a maxed out Stupefy, you get 2.5 seconds. The reason this is key is champions such as Groot, Rogue, all those champions that have a little bit of a decreased timer when it comes to being stunned. This gives you a chance to stun and still land a hit.
And don't forget, champs with better block proficiency stun longer.
Correct. Absolutely. So.
And it's good for everyone because, like I said, it's that extra hit, which is all you need to start a whole nother 5-hit combo.
Exactly.
All right. Moving on here, we got Petrify. On Petrify, this is whenever your champion inflicts a stun. They also reduce the enemy health and power gains by up to 10% for the duration of the stun, starting at level 1. It looks like it goes up by 10% all the way across the board. So, with that being said, what's everybody's thoughts here on Petrify?
This is one of those masteries that makes Jim Foster tick.
I think it's good, but it definitely should take a back seat to Pacify.
Agreed. I only have 1 point in it.
Notice it more against armored opponents. That's what I've realized.
I use it solely for a stepping stone to pacify.
But if you want most out of the PI, you have to max it.
So it sounds like for the majority part, guys, what we're seeing here is Petrify is here more so as a stepping stone. Because I think what everybody looks for is this right here, Pacify, correct?
Is that the power gain?
Yes.
Yeah. At 3, though, that power gain, like, you can, if you have it maxed out, you can get to your first bar power before they do. And that, like, can be a game changer. That can definitely be a game changer.
And yes, quick shot, Stupefy applies to all stun. So Hyperion, Ultron, what's her name? She-Hulk, and all of them.
Yep. Alright, so on Pacify here, Pacify basically runs in, and when your champion inflicts stun, they also reduce the enemy ability triggers by 10% for the duration of the stun. If you max it out, it goes up to 30%. Go ahead, guys. Tell these folks why Pacify is so awesome.
100% maxes out,
Yep.
first off. And then magic, it is so much easier to fight magic when you run this.
Yep.
Um,
Do you want to tell them how to use it real quick?
yeah, so once magic is close to a bar of power, you parry them and make her cross the power threshold while stunned.
And that does.
That's all.
Yeah, but what does it do?
Makes her not proc limbo sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yep.
Most
It's
of the time
not.
for me.
Hey, 30% is 30%, and
The math.
honestly, it happens a lot more than 30% for me.
Yeah,
That's
I
the bad
agree.
math.
Because I mean, she doesn't do it all the time, anyways.
Right.
So then you add that 30% on top of that, it helps.
Wait, does the zig increase how much a proc or its
Per se,
damage?
yes.
Yeah. Well, the good news here is we have Kabam math. And Kabam math tells us that 30% can really act more like 60 or 70%.
Wait,
So don't be afraid of it. Don't say, oh, it's only 30%. Because don't forget, Kabam math is here to save you. And
I love how everyone
that's
says Kabam math like it's a bad thing, when in reality, it like totally benefits the player more so than Kabam.
More than likely, it benefits the players, absolutely. But that's not the point. It's still I just find it hilarious that they've got all these percentages out there, and they seem so horribly wrong.
and real quick, Razzie Lopez pacify is not garbage. Back in the day, that was how you stopped Iron Man on defense.
There you go.
Rojo, how do you like this mastery?
I mean, it's really useful for Alliance War. I mean, any other time. I mean, I don't really see. I mean, it's helpful for stuff, but like you see its benefits when you're fighting Magic and Alliance War. Other than that, like, I mean, you probably don't realize it, but it's helping you when you parry and then attack people, and you don't even realize it. Yeah. But you know what you're doing when you're doing it to Magic, because you're thinking, because that Magic Limbo is a killer. That's one of the things that holds me back in Alliance War is when I fight Magic, is that Limbo, man. She eats me alive. Unless I'm running that mastery, then it helps a lot more. And sometimes I forget to turn it on. So, because I switch, so I switch back and forth.
And also, quick shot.
What about like LOL or AQ Map 6?
I had it on for LOL as well.
Me too.
And quick shot is correct. Pacify also stops thorns.
Stops what?
Thorns.
Yes.
And Electro.
Yep.
Yeah, it's ability reduction. It's basically 30% ability reduction while stunned.
Yep. All right. So there's Pacify.
Yeah, most of the time you don't even realize it's working unless you're fighting Magic and you're stunning her right before she goes over the next bar power. Because the rest of the time you're playing normally on everybody else. It's just her that you have to do it at that bar power. That I can think of.
Yeah, I agree.
So everybody else is normal play. They're just getting less triggers. So you're not even realizing it on other champs.
Right. All right, let's take a
Two
look.
things. One, Flash, for crying out loud, just do the Stone Cold impression, and they really have to stop calling Pacify the Arena Mastery just because of its PI game.
Huh.
It does have nice PI boost. That is true.
A lot.
All right.
People care about PI boosts.
Yes.
If they're not running suicides, yes.
People do.
As a matter of fact, they do.
So stupid.
Let's take a look at this as
silly,
well.
But yeah.
This is the we'll first do the cosmic awareness.
So why not?
Screw Arena.
Yeah, but honestly, people choose masteries based on which one's going to give them a higher individual PI. Like, that's something people do.
All right. So again, it does
Definitely,
have that.
Definitely, people do that.
Let's keep looking at the usefulness of the masteries.
All right, which one's next, boss man?
We got cosmic awareness.
I think he's on the phone.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, I think he ran off.
He's still there. He's just
no,
on
I accidentally hit mute. All right, cosmic awareness, guys. This is what we're looking at. So again, this imbues cosmic champs with the perception rivaling Himmendal. Reducing enemy armor up.
Wait.
Wait, you said it wrong.
Say his name again?
Oh, come on. Stop torturing him.
Reducing enemy armor up effectiveness by 2.5%. And it maxes out at 40. Holy crap, that's a huge jump.
Still garbage.
How well would this work with Cap Marvel and Max Pierce?
Do you guys see anything here?
I mean, it's massively situational, and honestly, not worth a mastery point.
Is it with every hit? Or just crits?
It doesn't
seems
say.
like it's every hit. Because on crits, you really don't get a reduction in damage when they're on an armor up. But normal hits, if it counts for normal hits, I think it's pretty useful if you have it maxed.
Yeah, it's just in general, from what it looks like.
Are you going to waste 5 mastery points to max this out?
Oh, heck no.
No. But if you want the extra damage for your Cosmic Champs, it's a decent one, but you have to max it.
Sure.
Yep. Looks like something for back when Thanos was the AQ boss.
Because to me, it looks like it scales pretty nastily. I mean, you start at 2.5 and end at 40. So.
If you're looking to do Labyrinth with a Cosmic Champ, it could be something to look into.
Yes, it is also bugged like Pierce
is
skill.
it?
Yeah.
Really?
Then probably take back everything.
So they're not bugged. Okay. First of all, those 2 masteries are not bugged. They are affected negatively by diminishing returns. Technically.
No, they're broke as crap.
Yeah, well, yeah, they're broken, but technically, it's diminishing returns. It's not a bug. So I just, but yeah, it's the same thing. Level 4 and 5 do absolutely nothing.
Level 3 on pure skill does nothing, so I guarantee this one at 3 does nothing.
Oh, I thought 3 works on pure skill.
Oh no, it gave me a boost of like 50 crit damage.
Well, yeah, you still got a boost though.
It's nothing.
Yeah, but you still get something. Like 4 and 5, you get 0. Like you actually get a 0.
All right. Quick Shot says he's heard it's good with Thor.
Did you say that it was good with pre-patch Thor?
Yeah, God tier Thor.
Yeah.
So. All right. So here's the one that matters. This is the one that drives everybody crazy currently.
Mystic D.
Mystic Dispersion.
Oh, my word.
Basically, every time a enemy beneficial effect expires, you gain 2% power. And it can go up to 12.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's a killer and a line toward defense. Top players are running 5 of 5. I don't even have. I only got 3, and it does work for me. This last war, I somehow only put 2 points in it, and it's still like all my Mystic characters still got a ton of kills. I mean, the alliance we were facing, they sucked really bad, but still, it was really funny to see how many kills I was getting with only 2 points in Mystic Dispersion.
Oh yeah, Quick Shot. Tell us about your experience with Mystic Dispersion. Yes, I saw that video.
Defensively, max this thing out all the way. It really makes a difference in alliance war. Offensively,
it's actually.
You need to find a sweet spot.
Yeah, real quick, like, this is more important than getting a unstoppable Colossus. So when the loyalty comes around, this mastery is important. More than that trophy champ that doesn't do anything for you.
I completely agree with that 100%. And but definitely, if on offense, like if you're using Scarlet Witch and if you're using Voodoo, like, you need to find your sweet spot. For me personally, it's 3. When I run 4, I miss my special, so I constantly get pushed to the next one. and use the one that I don't intend to, and it screws up my whole strategy for the fight. At 2, it's a little too slow for me. Some people like 4, some people like 2. You just play around with it, see what feels good for you. You know, make sure you have a strategy going into the fight if you want to use your 1, your 2, whatever, and just see what feels good. But defensively, max it out.
I run it at 4 all the time. It's so easy to control on offense, in my opinion.
And Slycem is gone again.
I mean, most champs, yeah, because most champs you can calculate the buff, and you eventually get a feel for what it is. But
R31, hell yeah, a chair.
most of the cosmic champs have a crap ton of buffs, and that's who I use voodoo on the most, I guess. And most of the time, if I'm at 4, I'm constantly missing specials. But this mastery here makes voodoo even better than he already is. So those mystic cores are 30 units a piece.
Yep.
But they're 8,000 loyalty.
Or is it 8,000? Yeah, 8,000 loyalty.
And it's Mystic Day today.
Yeah, and it is Friday. Yep, it's in the store every Friday. And that's exactly what I did. I bought 3 levels with all loyalty.
Yeah, I'm fixing to get my 4th one in like probably a couple weeks. I got 27 right now. I'm working my way to 40 more cores. So
it's so expensive, man.
Yeah, I decided not to. I decided just to grind it out as slowly as I get it. I'll get it, and
yeah,
because like three's working fine, but yeah, I am gonna boost it up to 5 when I finally get there. But it's whenever I get there.
And thank you guys for joining us on this chair stream.
Quick shot. Did you have it maxed out when you did that, or is it 4, 3? What'd you have it at?
He said he runs it max all the time.
Yeah.
All right, I am back. Yeah. Sorry about that.
Oh yeah, there it is.
Damn it, we had a nice chair stream.
I know. Sorry. My allergies are acting up after mowing my field yesterday. It was good at work. Come home to the house where I guess it's been nice.
Where all the grass got cut.
Oh, yeah. And, man, is it killing me right now. Whew. So, again, apologize, guys. Had to go blow my nose. So, all right. Let's keep moving on here. So I think we decided...
John Wesley Thomas just got a Venom dupe from a Premium Hero Crystal. He just posted in our chat.
Ooh, nice. Congratulations. He's been on fire here lately.
Yeah.
All right. So let me just say this. Out of these next little detect, is there anything there that you guys have a use for?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
All right. Which one?
Jacob uses one.
I use 2. I use Science and Mystic.
So, guys,
I mean, they're all the same, so just pull up one.
Sure. Here, we'll just use probably the most common. Detect Mystic. So, go ahead, Jacob. I know you use it. Explain to our viewers why you use it and what it is about it, and why anyone should look into this set of masteries, or which one they should and why.
First off, it makes war 100% easier, and you have the backup that you can bring a chant that causes a lot of mystic dispersion, because you know that you won't accidentally go into a fight with them and get surprised by a mystic champ. It just makes it easier.
So this, to you, it's mainly a war mastery, correct?
Yeah, it's the only place you can.
Yeah, all these are war.
True.
Basically.
But he doesn't switch his masteries though, so keep that in mind.
Correct. And guys, I guess that's the thing. Where it's a little bit different is Jacob doesn't change his masteries. He's already beat LOL 100%. There's nothing left to really do, so
Yeah,
why
he doesn't
not?
run arenas.
Right, so why worry about it? Set your stuff up for a war because that's his focus. Correct there, Jacob?
Yeah, and I was thinking about unlocking all of them but one.
Interesting.
And running all of them, so I basically know who I'm fighting every single fight.
Yeah, because the one that's left, it's the other one.
I was about to ask why you leaving one out. Which one you were going to leave out? That makes sense. That makes perfect sense.
All right. And then the glasses.
And I just dropped my masteries for my defense that I'm setting for right now, actually, in our YouTube, our line app for the SlycemGaming YouTube squad. So if you're not in there and you want in there, hit me up on line app, Frojo34, and I'll add you to the SlycemGaming YouTube squad chat so you can check everything out.
Absolutely.
What color is that one? Yellow?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do not waste your units and everything on the middle one, whatever that one's called.
Oh, the lens? Scouter lens?
Yeah, the one with the binoculars.
Yeah, makes sense. All right. Let's move on to defense.
Before that, do you have any cores in your stash?
Do I have any what?
Mastery cores in your stash?
Probably.
Unlock Pacify.
We'll come back to it and unlock it. All right. Defense.
Oh, yes.
First things first, you got vitality. You guys?
Defense? Oh, I'm not cut up
Those
yet.
first two, those are the first two, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
You got vitality and you got
those
greater.
Are just 1 point masteries. They don't really need to be expanded upon. Don't put any more. If you put a bunch of points in there, you're just wasting those points. Maybe early on when you don't have a lot of units and you're not investing much in the game, yeah, that's okay. But once you're later gameplay, everything past that is what is important.
Absolutely. So again, the first two that you see here, vitality and greater vitality, they are one. They're just unlock. That's all they're there for. They're just there to get unlocked. Unstable Man says, how many points is enough in Mystic Dispersion?
It's up to you.
It depends.
Yeah, totally up to you.
Your personal preference.
Defensively, obviously you want 5, but offensively, you need to test it out and find your sweet spot. Try 4. If you gain too much power and you don't like it and you can't control your specials, drop down to 3. Try it again, so on, and just find that spot that works for you.
How much units need to do all that over and over?
Who cares? Making you better, right?
Agreed.
All right. So here we'll start at the top. You got champion recovers 4 health twice per second for 60 seconds. No effect on robots.
It's a great stepping stone mastery. At full rank, it's 700 HP at most that you gain, and it's 60 seconds, right?
Correct.
Yeah, most fights don't even last 60 seconds, so you don't even gain the full 700. And early on, when you're using 3 stars, you'll actually see it, and that, it works there. But anything, especially once you hit level 60, you only need 1 point, and the other 2 points you can better utilize somewhere else. But you need it to get to recovery.
Yep.
I run 0.
Wow.
Jacob
just
like regeners.
I don't need it.
I got Superior, Joey, and TB that all just requested to join the YouTube chat, and I just sent them invites.
Awesome. Welcome.
Also invite A Willow.
I don't have his contact.
I got it. I'll get him.
I thought Awolo was in it.
Yeah, he is, or he should have been.
Yeah, I think he's already in it.
That's alright, I'll send him another to be safe. Alright. Moving on here. So, back to this. Jacob, you say you don't run it any at all.
Nope.
Alright.
Not at all.
Which one are we talking about?
Salve.
You don't run any in Salve?
He doesn't use regenerate.
I use them. It's just I don't need that extra boost.
We got iMac out there saying great for questing. A Willow says who lasts for 60 seconds.
Great for Old Man Logan.
What was that, Chid?
It says great for Old Man Logan.
Okay, sure. All right. So I think it's one of those things. Some people see it as a stepping stone. Some don't use it any at all.
Yeah.
Looking at it, when I sit down and do the math, and at this point in the game, I don't see a reason for it to be maxed out that I can think of.
Yeah.
I know Pedro may need it. Yeah, because Pedro has Deadpool.
It's only 700 hit points.
But I'm constantly using Deadpool. Like every Alliance quest, I use Deadpool, so that's extra points every second for me.
I will say that it is like 4 to 7 parries depending on what in-game content you're playing.
Sure.
It will recuperate like 4 to 5, somewhere in that range, that amount of parries. What's up, iMac? Oh, that's not me. And, but yeah, I only use one.
All right. So we got a different little bit of range. Frojo likes it all the way around. He maxes it out. Jacob uses it none. And then you got people that are using it just one. So a couple different ways to go. And IMAX says it will save you dozens of pots when you're questing harder content. Sure. Makes sense.
Salve will not.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't run it, though, if I wasn't using the red Deadpool for Alliance Quest and everything. If I wasn't running that champion that's constantly gaining health the entire time, as soon as he loses any amount of health, it just adds to him. So
that's a good point.
That's why I'm running it.
That is a good point.
Very good. All right. Next, we have recovery. Recovery, increasing any health your champions recover during a fight by 15%. All right. So if you're using a regener, this is something most people I'd say is definitely beneficial. Anthony, you're huge on regen players. What's your thoughts here on recovery?
I think it's essential. It's massively expensive to unlock, but 100% worth it. I think it's 3 stony cores.
6.
6, yeah, which is a lot. But totally worth it. That 15% is the difference between... On my Wolverine, it's about 8 HP. It's about 20%. Oh, 15%, yeah.
Hey, Tony.
I think it's a must-have.
I think it's definitely a must-have, and for Billy here, who's getting ready to head out, let me tell you why it's a must-have, and that's because Stone Cold said so. There you go, Billy. There was your Stone Cold. All right, let's go on. Go ahead, Anthony. Sorry.
At all, since they changed the power.
Do what, Jacob?
I said I disagree. I don't think it's needed at all. I haven't had it since they nerfed Willpower, and I have been just fine in game.
Interesting.
So
my Ultron still gets it. Like if you're at the 25%, he can still heal to the 50% and get a next regen. So not needed in my mind.
That is true. Ultron still gets his double regen.
Interesting. So, let me ask you this. If that's the case, Anthony, knowing that, would you still take recovery?
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, to me, regen is one of the top mechanics in the game. To me, it's all about survivability, and especially in map 5, map 6, with the and like IMAX said with Sal, this is going to save you countless units in potions and revives and whatnot. There is not any situation that I would ever take 3 points out of recovery.
Okay, let's see here.
They're asking if we'll post our mastery setups in the line chat. On the line chat, they're asking.
Absolutely.
You want to make like an album and put it in the notes, and we can all post them in there.
Okay.
So, and again, guys, I think we're seeing it just kind of depends. A Willow says, I have it maxed. Took six hits from Rhino this morning, and my X23 still finished at 100% health. So.
See, I run it without it, and my X23 is still always at 100%.
But Jacob has a point too. I mean, if you're good enough, you don't need it. Like, he has a very valid point.
Oh yeah.
That's in total 4 points that I could use on getting the scout lens, maxing MD, all that.
Yeah, I mean, you have a massively valid point. I value regeners like almost at the top of any mechanic.
I'm probably at some point, because I have to figure out where I'm going to get these points for 4 and 5 Mystic Dispersion. So I'm going to have to get it from somewhere at some point.
Yep.
So it might come from somewhere in there.
Take 2 out of Sal.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Dropface says he runs 0 in recovery as well. I run without. My Wolverine has done 8 fights in AQ today and is full. So, yeah, it's interesting. Well, there's definitely some things to look at. All right, going into the middle path, you got energy resistance, and then after that you have physical resistance. I don't know of anybody that runs them. Maybe I'm wrong, but
I do, 100%.
Really?
And I'm gonna preach them until the day I die.
Okay.
Overall, I only put 1 in energy resistance, and I maxed out physical resistance.
Does anybody else do this, or was I totally wrong?
No, it's so low numbers.
No, well, so at max, you get when I was testing this, it averaged out to 6.8% per hit reduced damage, which is more than you get from any other mastery in the defensive tree. And that 6.8% is huge amount of decreased amount of damage income.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Frojo, what's your thoughts?
Sorry, which one are we talking about?
The middle line, energy resistance and
Oh,
physical.
yeah, I don't use any points on either one of those.
Anybody out there in the chat use either of these? I mean, I see quick
Can
shot.
anyone hear me?
Yep, we got you, Bulldog. We are.
Oh, all right. I've been talking for like 5 minutes, and I just thought you guys were ignoring me.
No. Sorry.
I run them.
Do you?
Brian did a really good video on them showing their actual payout. If you want to know how much they actually do contribute, go check out his videos on them. That's what convinced me.
6.8%.
You know, I get the 6.8%, and I look at everything else. But I just... So many other places you could put points, I would think.
Not as effective as taking 7%.
Huh. Fair enough. All right, guys, so there's an idea.
I mean, what else are you going to put it in? Perfect block that gives you a 1.4% chance. I mean, that's incredibly low. And then stand your ground. I mean, you could put it in stand your ground, but you get way more reduced damage. You have what, a 50% chance to resist a block break? I mean, you're only reducing a small amount of hits, technically only heavy hits, on that stand your ground. If you max out physical resistance, you get 7% reduced damage on every hit you take.
Interesting.
And to me, that's the difference. To me, that makes way more sense than situational blocking.
Richard says, I know Brian Grant runs them. Eternal Warrior saying, Jacob, yeah, the numbers are low, but it seems to work.
It works so little against Labyrinth Magic.
What?
These masteries. That's what he was saying, that it would be useful for that
Yeah,
magic.
because everybody's running against Magic and Labyrinth all day, every day, huh? It's a good thing it doesn't do that much.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of setting masteries for one particular champ.
Well, and again, I think it was somebody in the chat somewhere mentioned it. So yeah, Quick Shot says, when I use Willpower, I have 1 in Solve, 3 in Recovery, 4 in Block, 1 in Energy Resistance, 4 in Physical Resistance.
Yep, 100%.
Interesting. All right, bottom tier here. Let's take a look. Block Proficiency increases the block proficiency of your champions by X amount. I have mine maxed. This goes back, though, for me, this goes back to your parry and your stuns there.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I think you have to have this maxed. Now, maybe I'm wrong. Again, a lot of my masteries I picked up off a mastery tree back a long time ago whenever I was first playing, and haven't really messed with them since. Well, from the MCOC bot, the different mastery builds they had out. But the block proficiency, to me, builds into that stun. So if I'm wrong, somebody educate me, but what do we all think here? What's the story on block proficiency?
It's essential, and you should max it out.
Yep.
Anybody else? I mean...
No, I agree with Anthony. Max it.
Frojo?
I mean, I can give you percentages on this one, too, if you want.
Block proficiency?
Yep.
Yeah, max it. Every time. Everybody should.
Alright, guys, there you go.
Because Perfect Block is dead. Has been for a long time.
Thank God.
Speaking of, next up is Perfect Block. While blocking, your champion has a blank chance to perform a perfect block. Starts at 1. Looks like it scales up by 1. So, what's our thoughts here on Perfect Block?
No.
Waste of resources.
Don't do it.
Interesting. Quick Shot says block proficiency is essential and so cheap to unlock. So, he's agreeing with us. You know, it's something that you have to have. So...
This is such a waste of resources. 0.4% chance is just not worth 4 mastery points. I mean, I'm sorry. My opinion.
No, that's what we're here for, guys. Speak up. Just make sure we don't trip over one another. I don't see a reason for it. I don't. And again, I'm looking back at it. I believe the reason I was supposed to go for it was to go over into the willpower area based on the build that I was following, which I didn't have enough masteries at the time. So it stopped short, and I've never came back. So, with that being said...
That's another reason why energy and physical resistance is good, because you don't have to waste your resources on these bottom 2, and you can still get to willpower. Sure. And you get way more damage reduction at a block proficiency, physical resistance, than you do the bottom 2.
And Rise got a good point here in chat. He says, World War II and Daredevil are walking perfect blocks. Take 0 on most attacks and specials.
There's 3 champions that can achieve a perfect block in the game.
So,
Quake and both Captain. I guess they're considered one, and then Daredevil.
Both Daredevils.
Yeah, they're one. Yeah. Both Daredevils and both Caps I kind of count as one. Technically 5, but you know what I mean.
And you don't even need that perfect block chance. There's synergies that'll give you even more of a percentage chance than what that mastery gives you.
Yep.
Absolutely. All right.
Although I would be not doing anyone a service if I didn't. Stand your ground increases the Captain America's stun duration by quite a bit. But that's situational masteries for single champions, which I don't recommend.
Sure.
But
It's also good for Mordo on defense.
I just wanted y'all to know that.
I was fixing to say the same thing.
And what was that, Jacob? I didn't hear you.
It's good for if you run Mordo on defense.
What's that? Oh, the perfect block?
Stand your ground.
Stand your ground.
Because he blocks so much.
Sure.
Especially when everyone heavy attacks him to shut his power gain off.
Yeah, and when he stands his ground against a heavy attack, it's like, what?
It's like Matumbo.
Every time, every time I'm like, oh no, it didn't work.
The worst is when they parry your heavy attack.
Yeah, that's even worse.
Yep. Mario X in the chat says, does Quake need synergy for a perfect block?
No.
She can't.
But it helps.
She can't achieve one. She can get close, but she can't get to perfect 0.
Star-Lord needs help to do it.
He can't get to perfect. There's only 5 champions that can get to perfect 0 block.
I don't think Star-Lord can now, Chid. It was before the update he could. But not anymore.
Good times.
All right. So staying your ground is really something that most people aren't messing with. I think is kind of what we're seeing, except for Mordo if you really want to be annoying, correct?
Yeah.
You can help with anyone, really.
All right.
Yeah, it can help anyone, but it's good that if you have Mordo, it's something to consider because he goes through the time where he has the power gain, or he just drops back and blocks for the most part, and so if anybody runs up and heavy attacks him, you know, it's going to catch them a little off guard when every so often he stands his ground and it doesn't break through.
Yeah, so you're fine with 2 points in stand your ground.
Yep.
Yeah, you don't need a bunch.
No.
Nope.
Real quick, too, guys, if you're new here, do us a favor, hit that subscribe button. We do greatly appreciate it. So let's keep moving on here. Collar Tech. Tech champions with a field that inhabits enemy power gain by 4%. Oh, inhibits, sorry.
Anyone use this on the panel?
No, but it's useful.
It's amazing. It's one of my favorite masteries. Anyone use it?
I've never used it.
No?
Nope, I don't touch class masteries, but pure skill.
Bulldog, do you use it?
No.
When I get Yondu is gonna go on my AW attack team, and I will be running Collar Tech. With his awakened ability and Collar Tech and Pacify, you can pretty much keep magic at no power. You don't even have to bring a power gain champ. Very, very, very effective with Yondu.
Interesting. Because yeah, when it is maxed out, you're looking at 18%. It's pretty big. Quickshot says he has it unlocked 5/5. So
yeah, it's It's very effective. It's very and I know like a lot of people like they bring Star-Lord in Ultron and Visions to quests and war, and it makes Vision a little bit better, especially both the Visions. Ultron, I mean it's he obviously it helps him, but it's not like essential to Ultron. But Star-Lord, it makes Star-Lord get to his L2 before the champion, before the opponent, and a lot of times that can be that'll save you on average like I don't know 4 to 5 block hits per match.
I would say that the collar tech would actually hurt the AOU Vision because he steals power.
That's true.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Wow.
But it would definitely help the OG Vision for sure.
Oh,
that's a good point.
Yeah.
I forgot about the steal.
OG Vision would be pretty nasty.
Yeah, but everyone's so focused on how to slay magic, and one of the most effective ways that nobody, I think, is really aware of is Yondu. Awakened Yondu with this mastery and Pacify is awesome. You can even add Resonate, which adds debuffs. It is like with the bleed, with everything, keeping her at like wicked low power. Yondu is a massively effective magic killer.
All right. Eternal Warrior says if you have Petrify, it's 98% power gain reduction while stunned. That's a good point. It'd be pretty massive. All right. Real quick, Quick Shot says I could do 200k damage with max Pacify, energy resistance, and collar tech on Labyrinth Magic with a 4-star before dying of limbo damage.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot.
I hear that. Very effective mastery.
Yep. All right. Moving on. We got Science, the Serum Science. Basically, level 1 is 60 energy resistance. Maxes out at 960. What's your thoughts, guys?
Does anyone
You'll not find a bigger waste of your points in the game.
Yeah, I completely agree. So it was designed. Kabam designed this with the intentions of people using Captain America's and Hulk against magic and other mystic bosses. But does anyone actually do that?
Nope.
I feel like there's a lot better champions to use against. That's what it was designed for. It doesn't work as well as they hoped.
No.
I would pass on it.
It was a do.
Was it? All right.
Anyone use it?
I don't, obviously.
Do you see anyone using this?
Which one were we talking about? I was dealing with something in the other chat.
Serum Science?
I haven't seen anyone use it. Let me look at it real quick. I forgot what it does exactly.
You gain energy resistance per
level.
level.
No. I don't it is no, it's not even a lot. Not the first levels anyways. It does get up to 960 at level 5. Yep. Nah, I still don't see people use it. It's one of the ones that needs redone.
Here's an interesting. Quick Shot said there was a guy Last Alliance War who had a Luke Cage on defense. He rolled through a few magics. He said they theorized he was using Serum Science.
Yeah,
maybe.
Plus his abilities. That makes sense.
Makes sense. Sean Smith says Strange, Dormammu, Magneto, and others do energy damage as well. So.
Yeah, but it's just such a waste.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on, we got Willpower. All right. Willpower, obviously, used to be huge. From my understanding, it's not near as important as it used to be.
Oh, dude, it used to be like when it first came out.
It was nasty.
Oh, yeah.
It was insane.
It was
and then
horrible.
like they nerfed it a little bit, and it was better. And then they nerfed it again a while back, and now it is what it is now.
Yeah.
And I think this is how it should be. I don't think it.
I agree.
I think it's good now.
I agree.
All right. So we got the way it works is for each new type of detrimental effect your champions suffer, they generate 0.5% health per second and gain plus 65 armor until that effect expires. No effect on robots. Maxes out at 0.7% health and 135 armor. Go ahead. What do we think, folks?
Well, right off the bat, it's off of base health now, not modified health. And it doesn't stack unless you have like different debuffs. Like you need to have separate debuffs, not like 4 bleeds. Like before, if you had 4 bleeds, it would keep stacking. Much needed change. Glad they did it. I don't run it anymore after I completed Act 4. I don't find a use for it. Although I would, because the armor that you gain is drastically underrated in its effectiveness. The armor you gain from this is quite powerful. Y'all want to get quick shot on here? I know.
Yeah, I was fixing to ask that.
Alright.
Yeah, let's.
I really don't think anyone needs willpower anymore. I think it's useless now.
I don't. I don't think it's useless. I think it has its place.
All right,
Sure,
let's
but-
get a quick shot on here real quick.
If you want it for defense, it doesn't help your defense really at all anymore. It doesn't really make it tough.
I
Stuff
agree.
like that.
I want to get quick shot on here. I know.
Yeah, I was fixing to ask that.
Alright.
I think he's here. Quick
Did
shot.
you just say that?
I don't think anyone needs willpower anymore.
in here?
I think it's useless now. Whoa. Just
I
playback.
don't-
Hey,
It
What's
has. I
happening?
think it's useless. I think it has its place.
all right,
Sure,
let's
but-
get quick
Someone's
shot.
got to shut the.
Quick shot.
If you want it for
Deja
defense,
vu.
it doesn't help your defense really at all anymore.
Quick
It doesn't
shot.
make it
Does
tough.
someone have a stream on? Like, what is going on?
Quick
Okay.
shot. It's quick
There,
shot.
and there. I fixed it. Quick shot. I'm going to call you right back. Do me a favor and go ahead and mute the stream. All right, guys, we're going to be bringing Quick Shot on. He's a big willpower guy. He uses it with his suicides, from my understanding. He's going to talk
Yeah.
about it for a little bit here. So here we go. Let's try this again.
He's another YouTuber. He's in For Loki. He's in Tier 1 Alliance War.
Can you hear me?
Now we got
There we
you.
go.
Ah, all right.
All right, so go ahead, Quick Shot. Tell us about willpower and what you find useful about it and such.
All right. So I run a degeneration path in map 6, and willpower does not go off degeneration anymore.
Okay.
So I just found it useless for my Wolverine trying to bust through that. But I swear it used to be affected by willpower and degeneration.
I think it's
It might have
because
been.
that's from the node. That's why.
But like I've said in the chat, I took it off of my defense, and I saw absolutely no difference in the amount of kills I can get with max MD, 455 magic, 345 juggernaut. Hasn't affected those kills at all.
Nice.
The only time willpower has ever mattered for me was when I ran into Scarlet Witch on defense.
Mm-hmm.
Breach.
So you're saying that you don't really see a reason for willpower anymore either.
if you're not running suicides, I think willpower is not necessary at all. But I run a lot of regen champs. I run Ultron, Wolverine, Magic, Dr. Voodoo on offense all the time. So if you have no regen champs, it might be better than nothing.
Sure. And yeah, Sean Smith says willpower doesn't work against degen anymore. Thanks, Kabam. So there you go.
Yeah, I totally agree with Quickshot. Like, if it's all depending on if you run suicides. Like that's the only thing that.
Or you're
like
doing
if you're running suicides, running arenas, and you're running suicides, you need willpower to counterbalance it. But other than that, I mean, if you didn't need it to counterbalance suicides, then you wouldn't even need it then.
You don't need any defense if you're only using suicides for arena.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun that way, too. All you have is parry, dexterity, and just maxed out attack.
Okay.
Very useful in Act 4, where half of the stuff gives you a debuff just by starting the fight.
But does it really do that much in Act 4? I mean, is it really that big of a difference?
Yes. Very noticeable. Especially the chaos nodes that just give you random effects. Like you proc a bleed. Yeah, it absolutely makes a difference and saves you quite a lot of potions, quite a lot of revives. In Act 4.
Okay, I mean, I guess I can see that. I was thinking 5 for a second. I was like, really? Like, it's that big of a difference? But, okay, I can see that.
No, I don't use it in Act 5 at all.
What Sean just said is true. When I ran through Realm of Legends on stream once just for fun, I used Hulk for Scarlet Witch because he's poison immune, and she gives him Fury, and he procs his own Fury. So you have 2 Fury buffs off the whole fight, and you can heal off willpower in the fight.
Yeah, with the fatigue and all that.
I agree with that too. If you're doing ROL, I would highly recommend you put up willpower.
All right.
That's a very good point, Quickshot.
All right, so it's got its uses, but it's a lot more situational than it ever used to be, correct? I think we can all agree there. Legendary Gamer says, I mean, it makes your PI higher, but without suicides, there is no point. So, interesting. All right, moving on. We got what? Coagulate. Your champ takes 10% less bleed damage from any bleed they suffer. Maxes out at 30%. I think this is another one. If you're not running suicides, you're not touching this. Correct?
Unless you are assigned the bleed lanes in AQ, it would help there too.
If you don't have a bleed immune and you're doing a bleed lane, you're getting kicked.
You're getting waxed.
Yeah. Hopefully you have a bleed immune. Some don't.
Ooh, that'd be rough.
It's doable.
I didn't say it's not doable. I just said it'd be rough.
That's an expensive way to do alliance quests.
Yeah.
Yeah, very. All right. Moving on from there. Again, we got another one. Sutra reduces the duration of enemy bleed effects by 10%. Maxes out at 20.
Hold on. You just say Sutra?
What?
Sutra applies to all bleed effects. I've seen a test.
Nah, he said Sutra.
What?
Wait, what?
Sutra.
No,
Oh, Lord.
it's suture.
Repeat. What? Apparently, I'm missing something. What did I say this time?
You said
Sutra, you said.
like Karma Sutra, and that is incorrect.
Exactly.
Oh, never mind. So, back to this. So, you're saying it affects all bleed effects. Because
It affects the ledge.
it says reduces just the duration of enemy bleed.
I know what it says, but Grand Scheme, who was a YouTuber, tested it.
Yep.
and it applies to double edge. It reduces.
Does it really?
Yeah,
What do you
that's
do?
what people do with suicides.
I mean, yeah, that makes sense. It's gonna reduce the duration of your double edge. That makes sense.
Yeah, it's been on Ronan Noob's Mastery Guide for a long time.
I say it's too expensive. Screw it.
So use suture, and then the mutant mastery with rogue, and it's over. Okay.
Yeah, Rogue, Beast, and Old Man Logan should have almost 0 bleed damage with that combo.
Yeah, Old Man Logan especially.
Yeah, it'd be super fast. All right. So again, though, is it something people should really be going after? Because to me,
No.
it seems like it's so
It
far.
depends on the champions you run, like they're talking about.
I don't really think it depends at all. I say never. Never, ever, ever.
Yeah.
I agree with Jacob.
I don't see a point for it anymore. When they first brought suicides in with that crazy willpower, and if you ran coagulate, you would heal tremendously off double edge. I had 3 out of 3 suture unlocked because I thought that helped me, but in reality, that actually hurt me in gaining health.
Interesting. Well, so, and again, so Virgil thinks it's champion specific. I don't see.
Well, I'm very champion specific. Like maybe only a handful. Like we were talking about with rogue.
But I guess I look at it.
Like,
who would you even? I mean, what else would you drop that would be worth it? Like, I just don't see the returns.
It would only be fun
if
for.
you're using rogue. You don't need deep wounds, so there's 5 points right. Well, 4 points right there.
Okay.
Good point.
Fair.
I see it. You could make some fun videos if you had
Yeah, you can definitely. Yeah.
mutant, suture, and coagulate maxed with Rogue, Beast, Old Man Logan. That bleed damage shrug off would be almost instant.
I've seen people use Old Man Logan on map 6. It's crazy.
All right. Coming around on the bottom side here, you got what? Inequity? Decrease opponent's attack by 2% for each detrimental effect they suffer, up to a maximum of 36% reduction. And then it scales up from 2% to 6%.
Very situational to basically one champion. It synergizes incredibly well with Yondu.
Scarlet Witch and Iron Fist.
Yeah, Scarlet Witch. Yeah.
Electra.
And
I have a question about that mastery.
takes very little damage.
Go ahead, Bulldog.
So I've always wondered about that. Is the 2%, is it 2% while it's active, or is it a cumulative 2% for every time you've gotten a debuff?
Only
Active.
while active.
Yeah, then I definitely am glad I'm not using it.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but it is only for each different type. So it's not a stackable number. So like if you stack 4 armor breaks, it's not goes off the number 4. It's just 1 armor break. Correct?
Correct.
I'm not sure.
Correct. Yes.
That's what I thought.
Which is why it synergizes so well with Yondu, and basically only Yondu, because he's got so many different things he can put on you. And it does synergize with Resonate. Resonate's debuffs will affect this mastery.
Sure. But again, that seems like a lot to deal with if you're only looking at one champion. So again, this is probably a mastery nobody is really looking to go get and going to set the world on fire with.
You guys remember Ronan Noob's Mastery Setup Guide?
Yep.
Yep.
He talked about this a lot for his Iron Fist.
Interesting.
Yeah, and that's who he used for all his legend runs. Iron Fist.
All right, and then the last one here we got in the top part here is Resonate. contact, and physical attacks have a 16% chance to weaken the opponent, reducing their attack by 7% for 7 seconds. That then scales up to 18% chance to weaken, reducing their attack by 13% for 7 seconds. What are we thinking?
No, 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 no.
I only used it for one champ and for one purpose.
And
That was for Electra taking on Thorns.
Okay.
Because that procs her ability to bypass Thorns by 85%.
I got you.
You have to get to the L1. So within the first 5-hit combo, like almost every time, you are now bypassing Thorns 85% of the time.
Also makes Yondu a lot better.
Yeah, I've wondered about that. I want to test it. I do.
Sorry.
Yep, you're okay. Believe me, I know you're feeling.
Came out of nowhere.
All right. All right. So, again, basically, guys, what we're seeing here is after Willpower, anything in this top area is really kind of an iffy deal. Willpower has its situational deals where people are seeing it being used. But the rest of it is really just suicide or a couple champ specific type masteries. Would we not agree?
Overall, yeah.
Any other thoughts before we move on, guys?
I say
Okay.
never get anything past willpower. Don't even give willpower, but that's just my opinion.
I agree.
Well,
It's not
I don't-
worth your resources.
if you're
I
trying to
only
use
use
suicide,
willpower when I'm running arenas with suicides, so.
if you're trying to use suicides in all aspects of the game, like in quests and trying to go like runs and stuff, then coagulate will help keep you alive. Other than that, I wouldn't use the rest of them.
Sure. Snake Eyes here in the chat says Yondu hype is real. Yeah.
I've seen some crazy kills from Yondu on defense.
Yep.
Yondu is
Is
crazy.
it really hype though? Is it hype if he actually delivers? Hype, I think, would imply that somebody is better than what people are saying. That guy's just straight up legit.
Well, hype is just like being excited for a champion, all that kind of stuff. Like,
Yeah.
the hype for Yondu is like a lot of people don't like. I'm hyped for Yondu. I don't have him, so like I'm hyped for him. Like when I get him, I'm gonna be excited.
Oh
More
yeah.
like raising awareness.
But he does deliver, from what everyone says.
Yeah, I guess because the dictionary defines it as extravagant or intensive publicity or promotion. So I guess in that respect, like, so he's not overhyped; he's just hyped.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've
But
seen
some champs.
5-6 plus kills on enhanced bleed because people just don't know how to play around it, and he's proccing bleeds through blocks and parries, and that is crazy.
I love when people say that they can't parry the arrow. Like, no kidding.
Yep.
And that's why I bring Daredevil
I don't even need Daredevil.
for fun.
All right. Oh, shoot. iPad. Gotta bring it back up. All right. And after that, that is all on the defensive end, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm curious for the ones on the bottom that they've had that question mark on for a long time.
Oh yeah.
One of it is the lubricant mastery. I think to make Kabam easier on you. What's the next one again?
The best Photoshop ever.
I'm wondering if it has anything to do with bases specifically, because there's rumors that it's being beta tested.
Well, I think there's definitely got to be something to do with those. And I'm not real sure what they're going to do with them. I'm very interested in it, but I have no idea. I mean, I haven't studied it, again, so I don't know. But what's the story behind the bases? Is it something that we can apply masteries to, or what?
Well, not really, no.
Okay.
Have you played Transformers?
No.
The bases are garbage.
Shocker.
Yeah, but that's basically what they're trying to do.
They literally take your resources if they beat your base, and you take their resources if you beat their base.
Okay, so it's kind of like what was that other game?
Clash of Clans.
Yeah,
Would it
kind
be
of
like
like
that?
Clash of Clans. Yeah, where you raid a base. If you win, you get their resources. If you lose,
Yeah.
Okay, that's kind of cool.
I think it's stupid.
Yes, which is like if they had a mastery for it, it would be like they take 10% less items or some silly. You know what I mean? Like that's
I'm hoping
basically what it would.
they expand upon it further than they've done in Transformers. I hope they make it more than what it is. Like I hope there's like you can, if you defeat them and all this stuff, you get like bonus stuff, not just from their resources. But like another thing to point out is in Marvel War of Heroes, this is how we dealt with like people that were hackers and botters and stuff. The whole community would go after it. Like we'd figure out who was cheating and stuff, and the whole community would target those people. So like every day we would clean them out on their gold and everything.
Nice.
We would steal. That's how we dealt with them in that game. We would take everything from them.
I would be so pissed if someone raided me and I lost all my units. I'm just saying.
Well, we know it's gonna happen to like the big YouTubers and stuff. Like, it's gonna happen. Like I expect to get hit.
It'll be interesting. All right, real quick, I kind of missed part of the chat. Let me go back here. We've got Q Lion saying Yandu on the left side mini boss was a pain to face. With all the folks running DW Deep Wounds, I think Coagulate is helpful from Refugee. I mean, that can make sense. I can see where you're coming from. So, Sean Smith saying Yandu with Deep Wounds equals a disaster for him. Snake Eyes is curious. Is Yandu worth an Awakening Gem? He got him out of the Marvelous Crystal.
Tech, yes. Generic, no.
Yeah, I'll go with that as well.
I would agree with that. All right. Adam Marco, no. That's why you bring Iceman at Chid. I missed that part. So, yeah.
What?
I don't know. Apparently, you guys were talking about Iceman.
Oh, it was for dodging
I
Yandus.
got you. Bulldog, I will say this. Bro2D2 is concerned about you. He wants to know, are you okay after yesterday?
I responded in the chat.
Oh. According to Refugee, Brian is saying that Kabam has no intentions of adding any new masteries anytime soon.
Yeah, they said that in the forum as well.
They said in the future, but not near future.
The level cap is most likely going to go up
That as well, yeah.
Yep.
with Act 6, and maybe there's a small chance, but it's still a chance, that you'll see a level cap or mastery points with the last 3 sections of Act 5.
All right. And then Legendary Gamer says he's got 135 million gold, 15,000 units. He goes crazy changing masteries. If I had that kind of supplies, sure, I could too. That's a ton of units. I do good to be able to keep mine up right now because of going through the new contest, or the new finishing up Act 5, I guess I should say. So, Sean Smith saying, be sure to smash that like button and hit subscribe if you're new. I agree with that. All right, let's take a look now at offensive masteries and see what we got.
Yay.
The coup de grace.
Oh, yeah. Sure, Adam Marco, shoot me that request and I'll add you here in a few. All right. here's where we go.
Wait, Quick Shot's still here, right?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay.
All right.
What's he?
We're going to hit one quick ad and get everything ready to go, guys. Ha 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 ha! The suspense builds. Dun 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 dun. And a lot of them can still watch us because they have ad blocker, but it doesn't matter. So here's what we got. Let's get this thing rolling. Strength. Thoughts on it? How deep do you go? Because from what I see, it's just there as a stepping stone.
1.
Same as defense. The first 2 are just 1.
People tend to add in the second one.
Yeah.
Yep.
I used greater strength for labyrinth.
Me too.
I only used 1, but it took me 17 hours. So what do I?
8%. An 8% boost to your attack is more than what glass cannon does.
True.
All right. So we got a 1 for strength. After that, we go to greater strength. So you're saying, Jacob, you would go how high?
Max it out if you're doing labyrinth.
Interesting. Because it, rose up to 8%, you said?
Yep.
That is pretty solid. So greater
It's not a
strength.
flat number.
So greater strength is something people should look at. Why only if you're doing labyrinth? Is it not useful any other time?
No.
No.
Maybe Realm of Legends, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, because you did it with Realm.
Wait, what?
Slycem did it when he was on the Realm.
Right. All of my build was for ROL type stuff at the time, so.
Yeah, and also if you're at so there's 59 total mastery points available at the moment. And if you don't have everything unlocked, but you have all 59 and you just kind of need a filler, it's a good filler. Otherwise, keep it at 1 and move on to the real damage dealers.
All right. So after that, we'll start at the bottom here and work our way up. You got courage. Increases the attack of all champions by 10% while they are below 50% health.
I like this one. I think it's situational still, though. Labyrinth, Realm of Legends, Alliance War, Alliance Quest. I mean, it's all valuable, but a lot of people only put 1 point in it a lot of times.
I think it only needs 1 point unless you're doing Labyrinth or Realm.
Yeah.
It's also Hulk's best friend. So if you're a big Hulk user,
Sure.
I would max it out. It also gives you a very solid PI boost if you're into that kind of thing.
All right. So then going up above it here, we got Pierce. Critical hits from your champions ignore additional 15% armor when it's maxed out. Maxes out at 15.
I think you max it.
So we got,
I agree. It's expensive, but I agree.
all right. So
Yeah, I run.
I mean, there's times where I've had Courage and Pierce maxed, but here lately I've only been putting 1 point in. I've been using the points elsewhere.
Yeah. Yeah. It's one of those ones, it's nice to have maxed, but if you need those 2 points, use them somewhere else. But it is nice to have at max. The 15% on critical hits is quite nice.
oh yeah.
When I was in tier 2, and my magic was only 345 at the time, you could notice the difference in kills you would get as soon as they got her down to 50% health. Because it would be like maybe 10, 15, and then it would jump to 30 to 40, and usually they gave up.
Wow. By the way, welcome Extreme Will. Good seeing you. Welcome Star. Legendary BKMS. Good seeing you guys. We got a lot of opinions here. Some people saying maxing it is good. Some people saying it's okay. What's interesting, though, is you can see that it's just a lot of preference on these couple ones. What do you like? What are you looking for? What's your hope?
I mean, at the very least, you need one because it's the only way you can get to the real damage dealers.
Sure. So with that, let's continue across the top here. We got lesser precision. Increases the critical rating of all champions by 25. Next rank is 50, so I'm assuming it what? Maxes out at what, 125?
Yeah.
There you go. Thoughts?
1 point.
It depends on where you're at in the game. If you have enough to unlock the one after it, which is precision and cruelty, then you just want 1 point. If you do not have enough for precision and cruelty, max them out.
By the way, congratulations, Camaro, on beating Webslinger. Good to see. So, okay.
Yeah.
So, we got Jacob saying 1. Frojo, what's your take?
1.
All right. By the way, Legendary Gamer is saying there are 64 mastery points if you 100% explore Act 4.
That is incorrect. It is 59.
59.
And that's how we know
it's
he
59.
isn't who he says he is.
He's got a video on his account of Jenserem. I mean, he could have downloaded it off Jenserem's YouTube, but...
Well, here, while we say
Either
this,
that or Gunther M always lets people account share and he doesn't really play the game. Either that, I don't know, maybe.
well, here, we'll do this. We say there's 59. The crew says there's 59. Tell us where you're getting 64, and we'll go from there. Tell us something we can maybe learn.
And secret mastery points from 100%ing Labyrinth.
Yeah,
Then
there
50.
is.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think somebody in this room has 100%ed Labyrinth and could tell us whether that's true or not.
And you don't.
All right. Precision. Increases the critical rating of all champions by a number. At 5/5, it is 425. Thoughts?
1 point as well.
What?
Oh, wait, no. That's the... Never mind, 5 in that, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought we were on the one below the other one.
He went over, not down. Yeah, 5 as well. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
max it every time, every build, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, 5.
So, precision and cruelty cost 5 stony cores each. Very expensive, but 100% essential. And like I said, if you have them unlocked, max them. If you don't, max out the lesser.
Yep. All right.
I've heard they scale really badly if you test them point by point.
Well, yeah. Everything in the game scales really badly, point by point.
It's helpful.
That's the whole. I mean, that's the whole thing behind diminishing returns. That's just the nature of the game.
Beast. All right, so we got lesser cruelty. Because it sounds like this is a no-brainer. We talk about it instantly. Everybody's 5/5 on precision. Got to be done. So.
And if you're wondering, if you're new and you're wondering which one to unlock first, precision or cruelty, you want to unlock precision first because it gives you more chances at crits, and then you unlock the damage, in my opinion.
Well, yeah, because the increased damage isn't going to do you any good if you're not landing the crits.
Exactly.
So, if you're getting, 10% more damage off, 5 crit hits a fight versus 0% more damage off of 20 more, crit hits per fight, which one of those is going to be better? Because you're already getting a damage increase just by getting the critical hit. So, logic dictates it's the more important of the two.
Yep.
All right. Moving on here, lesser cruelty.
Didn't you just do lesser cruelty?
No.
No.
Wow.
You're getting old. Lesser cruelty, so it increases the crit damage rating of all champs by, starts out at 30, it goes up by 30 each level. And again, this is a 1 for me. You use it to go everywhere else, but any thoughts on lesser cruelty?
Same. 1, unless you can't afford cruelty, then max it out.
All right. Cruelty itself increases the critical damage rating of all champions by 475.
5 out of 5.
All max out. So again, guys, basically the lessers you want to just put 1 in. The goal is to get to the Big Daddy, the precision, and the cruelty, and get them maxed out as quickly as possible. So, down at the very bottom here, we have Extended Fury. Any thoughts on Extended Fury?
Where's Master?
I think both of those are worthless.
Made a huge difference.
If you're running the Drax and some other champions, it's valuable.
Drax, Crossbones, Scarlet Witch.
If you're using a 4-star Star-Lord in Labyrinth, it makes a huge difference in the damage you can do before you die from the Hardened Rage timer.
Sure.
It's definitely situational. But I say only if you are using it in that situation, but 1 in that.
Yeah, I use it as a gateway to Enhanced Fury.
Yeah.
And again, I think the vast majority of our listeners are not doing their LOL run tomorrow.
Correct.
I think even if you are, it's a waste.
No,
Star-Lord scales exponentially as it is, and you can use those 5 points in your suicides, your assassins, your defense. I mean, anything.
Right,
Anything.
4-star Star-Lord, you can only get about 160 hits in before you die.
4-star. Yeah, that's a good point, Quickshot. That's a good point. The 4-star could use it.
The 5-star uses it well too. It's an 8% increase for the next one to how much damage you do from Furies.
Fair enough.
It's very good.
Makes sense.
I need to see that on paper. I need to see that in a fight because I don't think it's 8%. I think that's. I don't know. Have you tested Star-Lord? Have you tested that, Jacob?
I mean, I used it in my Labyrinth run.
Did you? I mean, could you?
I didn't really pay attention. I just know it helped.
Yeah, I think Kabam screwed this one up. I think it's iffy. I need to test it.
All right, and then we got Enhanced Fury, which increases the effectiveness of Fury by 2%. It looks like it continues to move up by that amount. So again, I think most people are looking at this as a situational deal. Very, very limited use, in my opinion. Correct?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I've only used it for Star-Lord in Labyrinth, and that's it.
Yeah, all right, cool. What's up, Gage? Good to see you. So again, these Furies are just very situational. You got to have the right champs that can really benefit from it. Outside of that, there's really not a whole lot there, and the right quest or the right fights.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to max both of those out and then take Crossbones for the crit team into RTTL.
Ooh.
And see what it does. That's my next test.
All right, we got Pure Skill. This is Jacob's favorite ability. I know, our favorite mastery.
No, not anymore.
Jacob, tell us about it in the past, tell us about it now, and why it's not near what it was.
Well, in the past, it was freaking amazing. Your Black Widow could crit close to 10k on her special 2. Normal crits surpass 2k on a rank 5-star. And that's only a rank 4. And rank 5 doubles that, so it's even more powerful. And nowadays, it's complete trash.
Why is that?
At any rank. And I did testing, I took it up to rank 3, only got 50 plus crit damage increase. Absolutely worthless now.
Wow. So why is it? What are we seeing on why it's went so bad?
Kabam. That's why they screw it up.
Diminishing returns.
They didn't change how it scaled, and diminishing returns meant 3 out of 5 is 0 armor. And you can't go below 0, so that's it.
Wow.
No more below 0.
That sucks. All right. So there's pure skill. So this is one that we say we avoid it current way it is, correct?
You could go up to 3, but Jacob's right. Because 4 and 5 give you absolutely nothing. It gives you zero increase. But even 3 gives you a significantly reduced increase that it's not worth it. But, yeah, don't waste your time.
All right. So we're saying stay away. Now we're looking at Mutant Genesis. Closes a bleed wound with your mutant champ 0.5 seconds faster than your non-mutants. And it maxes out at 2.5. Again, this sounds like to me one of those situational, if you're running mutants and wanting to run bleeds, correct? Or you're suicide.
Yeah, I mean,
that's the only people that I've heard about using it is with Rogue and Beast and Old Man Logan that are using those champs on Alliance quests and stuff like that. Those are the only people that are running those are the only people I hear that use those. So
sure.
Otherwise, I would say it's completely useless.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
I just think in the current state of the game, there are 2 class masteries that are worth it, and the rest are utterly useless.
Yep.
Sure.
Like, to me, this one, like...
I just want to make some sweet videos with it.
I mean, it's either... the mutant class, you either are going to be using a regener or an immunity champ, and it doesn't matter at that point. And I feel like they could have done something different with the Mutant Genesis.
I think the Mutant Genesis should do something about giving all the mutants some sort of regen, some sort of amount.
Yeah, either that, that's a good one, or maybe like specials damage increase to special.
Yeah, because they do that a lot on their synergies already.
Like something like that, but like to me, you're either going to use Wolverine, who can regen bleed damage anyway, or Iceman, or you know what I mean? Like the top mutant champs are all either immune or a regen. So I think they missed the mark and missed this and could do a lot better with it.
I agree.
Or they could just increase attack overall for each class. Like they could just change all the Mystic, like all the class masteries, just change them all to this class gets this much increased attack. And it'd be the same for every mastery. I know people would hate that run Mystic Dispersion, but I don't know.
Mystic Dispersion is breaking the game almost as bad as Willpower did. It needs to go.
I think it's worse.
Yeah, it could be.
It's nasty.
Could be.
The thing about Willpower is it affected all champions, for the most part.
I dread coming across 455 Dormammu's on the left protector in Alliance.
I disagree with that, and I'll tell you why I disagree with that. Willpower broke every aspect of the game. If you were in arena, you were using Ant-Man or Luke Cage, and you came up against somebody with willpower, that's it. You can't win. Game over. Like, literally, you just had to let yourself lose. Mystic Dispersion sucks, and it's making Alliance War way unfun. It makes parts of the arena can be challenging, but the game is still playable. It's just significantly less fun. So I don't agree that it's as bad as Willpower, but it's close, and the whole purpose of 12.0 was to level the playing field and make it so that, every champ was legitimate and had a chance, but they basically threw that out the window with Mystic Dispersion, because now it's like, what? Yeah, now you gotta have a Magic or a Juggernaut for your boss, and you gotta, it's just, and when you go into it, well, we're either gonna see Magic or Juggernaut or, Dormammu, yeah, it really has sucked a lot of the fun. Like, I just don't enjoy Alliance War anymore because of it.
There's no strategy.
But I could still do the arena.
I mean, it takes all the strategy out of it. It takes all the planning. It takes the fun. I mean, there's no skill in War anymore. It's ridiculous. It's not fun.
Oh, I don't know about that. I would say there's still some skill. Learning how to play with it and deal with it has a lot to do with it. So,
think about a lot of the masteries that we've talked about that are specifically to get around how Mystic Dispersion interacts with Magic and Dormammu and stuff like that. Like, would anyone run Pacify if Magic wasn't gaining L1, L2s from your dexterity buffs?
I mean,
not as much.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would
run 2 instead of 3 just to unlock Mystic Dispersion. Because for offense, Mystic Dispersion's a lot of fun.
Sure.
It's a complete game changer on offense.
Yeah, but on defense, it's ridiculous.
All right, let's keep pounding through these here. DMR says, guys, Mystic Dispersion is great for the game. Adam Marco says, I was talking about that in Team Awesome line. I was like, remember when they used AOU Ultron for Alliance War bosses? LOL. So, all right.
Oh, God.
Let's take a look at the top, which is what we call suicides here. We got Glass Cannon. Increases the attack of all champions by 4.8%, but reduces their maximum health by the same percent. Let's hear it.
Max it.
I agree.
100%.
Everybody is feeling it's got to be max, so.
Hey, if they put Nightcrawler as Alliance War bosses because they got rid of Mystic Dispersion, I would love it all day.
Me too.
It'd be great. Amazing.
Quick
Spider-Man, I can counter Spider-Man.
All right. Let's see here. Who's something? Camaro's opening a crystal. All right. So they're Glass Cannon, definitely you got to max out. After that, we come with Recoil. Recoil increases the special attack damage for all champions by 15%, but they sacrifice 5% health. For each activation. Maxes out at 30% and 10%.
I really hate that they made that a prerequisite to using the suicides, because I freaking hate that mastery.
What's everybody else?
Yeah.
What are we thinking?
Nobody likes recoil.
No.
I mean,
You have to get it to get suicides, but
they had to counter 60% damage increase somehow.
Recoil is a lot of fun with Magic because if you're not running the poison one, then you when Limbo expires, you gain back all the damage you took from Recoil. Actually,
that's true.
15% more if you have maxed recovery.
Dude,
You
okay.
heal.
Yeah, and Kabam's not just going to give you 60% damage increase without making you sacrifice something. And to be honest, it's probably the lesser of all evils. If you really sat down and thought about what they could have put there instead, it's probably the best option you have.
I might be the only person here with 3 out of 3 Recoil unlocked.
Do you use it, though?
I have used it, yeah.
Oh, with Magic, yeah.
With Magic?
I have it unlocked too, and that's actually a really good point because I'm going to go fight the Collector tonight finally, and I was going to bring Magic as one of my primary fighters, so I might redo my masteries and put on the suicides again and max out Recoil, just for because I'm basically my strategy is just do as much damage as possible until he kills me, you know.
Sure.
You have
Go ahead, quick shot.
Yeah, for the Collector, Vision.
Yep.
Classic Vision is better.
Yeah. Oh no, I have AOU.
Yeah, AOU is still good. Nightcrawler and Daredevil Classic, and everyone else just.
I'm not going to use Daredevil Classic. I'm going to bring both my Magics, my 5-star and my 4-star, AOU Vision, my Hulk, and my Nightcrawler. And basically just the whole idea is to just do as much damage. I'm hoping to get him in a stun loop with Hulk. You know, maybe use Magic to do as much damage. And because I've got like probably 50 revives right now in my stash, and I got to start using them. So I figure I'll just revive, throw a couple, and with Hulk I'll just revive him, heal him up to maybe 30%, and take advantage of that extra damage output and just keep on punching him. That's my plan.
Interesting. Welcome, you go Punisher, and
It's not bad. Just don't expect to power lock him.
No, I'm not going in with that as an assumption.
yeah, and Camaro says he just popped a 5-star and got Iron Patriot. Wah, wah, wah.
Oh,
Bum, bum,
man.
ba-dum,
20,000 arena points. My man.
Ouch. All right, let's see here. Moving on after recoil, we got Liquid Courage. Increases the attack of all champs by 10%, but they suffer an internal poison that drains 0.6% of health per second. Maxes out at 30 and 0.6. Thoughts?
In my opinion, the only place he uses for Labyrinth. Screw Arena. Absolutely hate suicides. They wreck your defense. It's too expensive to keep resetting them to get them so you don't have it for defense and then go back in Arena. It's just stupid.
But Jake, you have to also take into effect, guys. Jacob doesn't play arenas, so
I do. I don't.
Yeah, but you're not going for features. You're not.
Yeah.
I am now, but I don't need them.
Win.
I'm getting Black Spotty.
Yeah,
And
but you're not
Miles I got.
playing new features, is what I'm saying.
Black
I
Spot's
did-
still
16
6-0.
million points.
I did Gwenpool Arena when she came out. Didn't have suicides. It was fine.
Okay.
Okay, back then I didn't run suicides either. I used to have your mind frame up until when they did Rocket's Workshop. I never did it, and now using suicides and not using suicides in the arena, like the time, like in between that, like I have more time to go do something else or eat or go edit a picture or video or do something at the house, or put a load of laundry. Like there's all that extra time in there now. Like it's huge. It's a huge amount of time
Sure.
saver. Like that to me alone is worth it. Not only can I get to using 5 stars faster to refresh to get more points, but all that free time. Like I'm like I used to run like almost through all my champions, and then I would finish and be like, okay, well, about 5-10 minutes it'll be time to start over. Now there's like 45 minutes to almost sometimes an hour, depending on if my 5 stars are refreshing or not. If my 5 stars aren't fixing to refresh, then I have almost an hour in there.
Congress. Brian Grant has a video on suicides versus non-suicides in arena. You should go
Yeah,
watch.
he does.
There's the time and the point difference between them.
The point difference isn't like huge.
It was
but
like
the
40K.
time. Yeah, it's like 40K.
And then here's
You will.
guys, when we say suicides, here's the other suicide. It's called Double Edge, and it increases the attack of all champions by 10%, but up to 10% health is lost by bleeding by over 8 seconds. And that goes up to 30%, but up to 20% health loss and bleeding over 16 seconds.
When you run full suicides and you take them off, you hate yourself. Like you hate fighting.
Yeah, because like you know that you're wasting time. Like it's just in your head. Like
That-
if you didn't know, like how I used to be before, I didn't know. So I was like, like I'm fine. But now that I've done it, and now I try to play arenas, I'm sitting here thinking about the time I could be doing something else later.
Wow.
Well, that one feels like Luke Cage.
Yeah, that too.
You will never see me with an ounce of suicides on ever in the entirety of the lifespan of MCOC.
Same.
All right, good luck on Green Goblin.
I agree. I agree.
That's
I will
why I
never
give us 5
fight
star.
them.
All right. So again, guys, when you're looking at the suicides as they're called, that upper top group there, glass cannon is a must. Recoil, you're looking at 1, and the other 2 is really kind of a personal preference on what it is you're looking to do. and how far you want to go in them.
If you only want one of them, and I'm not sure why you would, but if you do, or if you're building them, you want to go with the poison first. There are drastically more poison immune champs than bleed immune champs, and it's cheaper too.
Yep. All right, on the bottom here, we're looking at despair. Debuffs applied to enemies reduce their healing and regeneration effects by 5% each.
1 point.
This is garbage. It's all about one. This is just getting it opened.
I think people that use Electra do more than 1 point here.
Yes.
Okay, makes sense.
All right, so for despair, you remember the Ming-Na's challenge? They had that Iron Man at the end that had that crazy regen that if you didn't kill it right at the beginning, you were screwed, and it regened 80% of that, like, who knows how many hundreds of thousands of health?
Yes.
My only 550 at the time was OG Black Panther, because I didn't know any better when I got my first cats to rank up a 5-star on who to tank. With Max Despair, I bypassed that regen completely. I had 10 bleeds up almost the majority of the fight with Max Wounds and Despair.
Wow.
And Pure Skill, but back then Pure Skill actually meant something.
Sure.
Is that the second Ming-Na's?
There was only one Ming-Na's. There was 2 Chloes.
Was there 2 Coulsons also? Or was there one?
No, I think there's only one Coulson. There was one Ming-Na, and then there was 2 Chloe's quest.
Wasn't Ming-Na the one with the Electra BS? Or was that the first Chloe?
I get them all confused now.
Me too.
I think the Ming-Na's was the one with no, it was Chloe's that had Quake in there, because that's literally Chloe Bennett. Never mind.
The second Chloe's had Quake. The first one didn't.
I just remember that I beat all of them except for Coulson's, because I couldn't get past that stupid stacked Luke Cage.
Coulson was the first one.
Yeah, I couldn't get past
Luke Cage.
My only strong champ was a 550 Black Panther. You talk about doing 0 damage.
Yeah, the only one I didn't do was the one with the BS Electra.
I did them all.
Wow. All right. So outside of despair, so what's our final ranking here on despair? Is it something you really have to have, or is it just one of those?
It's something that you normally don't put a point in. Like 1,
right?
Yeah, because you have to get to the rest of them. But
okay,
it's a gateway mastery. You got to put 1 point in to get to the good stuff. DW and Assassin.
I agree.
Yeah, I have 1 in it, but if there's ever an opportunity where I need to bypass regen, and I don't bring someone who could do that, then I've stacked 10 bleeds and I can hold it there pretty consistently with my Wolverine, but if I have to stop regen, I'm not going to use Wolverine.
Sure. All right. After despair, you've got deep wounds. Deep wounds bleed your champion's inflict last 0.5 seconds longer. If they have more health points than their target, their bleed instantly strikes down an additional 0.2% max health from enemies. So, with that being said, I think we can all agree this is a very good mastery if you have some good, solid bleed champs. What's everybody else's thoughts here? How far would you take it?
I love it.
Max.
5 all the time.
Yeah, I would recommend 5 out of 5 whenever humanly possible, because there are enough champs. I mean, even like Ultron, champs you don't think about as, you think about bleeder champs, Gwenpool, Black Panther, Hawkeye. It's going to make all of them like decimating. And then even the champs that just do smaller bleeds can make their bleeds effective, in ways that maybe they weren't before.
The only time I see you only using 1 point in them is if you're doing LOL with no bleed,
with a non-bleed champ,
or if you're changing your masteries on Alliance War defense and you have no bleed champions on your lines for defense, then there's no point in using more than 1 point in the, like, you're just wasting points at that point. But any other time,
general
for anything
usage.
else, yeah, general usage, yeah, max it.
Yeah, this is really one of those masteries where you're going to look at, you're going to say, you're going to run it at 5 out of 5 every day, all day, unless you're doing something specific. With some of these masteries, it's the alternate. You know, you're going to have 0 or 1 points in them unless you're going to be doing something specific where you need them. This is one of those ones you want to run it at max all the time, and you're only going to lower it in a situation like that. You're doing LOL with a non-bleed centric champ.
You remember when
Otherwise, it's just going to benefit you.
Remember when they introduced this and they only gave you 3 points?
Yep.
5? Those 3 points were amazing. The difference was tremendous. Any champ that bleed. So when they increased it to 5, it was a no-brainer to sink the units into that and put it to 5.
Yeah, I maxed Deep Wounds and Assassin before I maxed out the Suicide Masteries.
Wow. Which I guess that makes sense. See,
So did I.
I'm heading that direction. So Deep Wounds is something you definitely want to see maxed out, guys. If you got a couple champs that can bleed, definitely a way to go. Unfazed.
You should see Cap World War II's bleed with Deep Wounds level 5. I mean, mine's 440, and it's ticking off, 450, 470 bleed damage per second. So over 4 seconds, 5 seconds, it's ridiculous.
A bleed and assassin range on an opponent with a ton of health, you're doing 700 plus a tick.
That's insane. Man. Interesting. All right. Unfazed. When an enemy evades, your champions have a 17% chance to stack plus 150 critical damage rating for their next critical hit and become unstoppable for 1 second. Maxing out goes to, if the enemy evades, your champions have a 55% chance to stack 450 crit damage and their next critical hit, or for their next crit hit, and become unstoppable for 1 second. Thoughts?
No, just no.
Second worst mastery in the game.
Agreed.
2 people that everyone loves that run 1 point in this. Joel Line and the Analyzer.
I wouldn't even waste the point.
I tried it, and it never did anything for me, so I got rid of it, and I hate that I wasted so many units to unlock it. But the grand scheme, we both have level 99 Daredevil, OG Daredevil, that we used for Unblockable Special 1 and 2 nodes in Alliance War. And he said he got wrecked from Unfazed several times, and then he just stopped bringing Daredevil.
Really?
Yeah, if you are dodging a bunch of bullets, that 17% chance is going to proc.
True. Interesting. I guess that would make sense, where it would definitely be a negative against Daredevil. Or a positive. A negative if you are Daredevil and run into it, so.
If you struggle with a Nightcrawler, possibly, but I would say no, just don't.
Just find Iceman. Just find him somehow. Get Iceman. That takes care of Nightcrawler.
Yeah, it's just that easy. Just go get him.
I've got one.
It's not like I've opened 21 4-stars trying to get him or anything, not to mention 2 features. Just go out and get him.
Does it tell you you're unstoppable?
Yes.
Okay.
What's up, Carlos? Good seeing you. All right. In final mastery of the night, Assassin. At rank 5, this is how it reads. Against enemies below 18% health, your champion gains 60% attack and decrease enemies' defensive ability accuracy by 20%. If enemies start the fight below 18%, your champion also gains 30% offensive ability accuracy. Jacob, what do you think?
With my current setup, it's beneficial for me to have it at 5 of 5. But if they add new good masteries, I will consider taking it down to 3.
Okay. Any particular
I
reason?
pretty much just run it at 2. I always have. I mean, having it at 2 is a massively noticeable difference. You know, once you get past that threshold, I'm winning in 2-3 hits tops. I just can't imagine that going from 2 to 5 is going to reduce that to 1 hit. You know, so I just don't see any reason to run it beyond 2, in my opinion.
I either run 1 or 5.
See,
Yeah, I'm the same. And I feel like it doesn't. I kind of. It's one of those masteries like, like everyone says it's good, so I run it. But when I'm doing it, I just don't. I never really saw a difference from when I wasn't running it and when I was running it, except for when those abilities don't trigger. Like when Iron Man all of a sudden doesn't trigger his health. I'm like, hey, wait a second, Iron Man didn't. Oh, that was Assassin.
Yep.
Other than instances like that, I don't really notice. I noticed it in Labyrinth of Legends and stuff when it got to the end of those fights, but in normal arena, Alliance Quest, Alliance War, I don't really see it, except for when those abilities don't trigger from. Unless that happens, but I'm one of those people I'm on the fence, I could drop it all together, down to 1 point and just leave it there. But a lot of times I'm like, I'll throw those four other points in there too.
See,
you don't notice a damage increase in the last.
I mean, I do, but it doesn't seem like it's crazily it doesn't seem like it's an incredible amount. Maybe when I'm doing arena, I'm just flying through fights already. Is it really saving me 1 more hit, or is it saving me 5 more hits?
Well, that depends on the fight.
Sure.
Dave,
to me,
second Hyperion, it's saving you a ton of hits.
Yeah.
I don't know of any people here who've done that, but
having it at 5 has its place. LOL, map 6 bosses, and tier 1 alliance bosses, but in the every day-to-day fight, anything over 3 is just a waste. I mean, you're gonna KO most champs at 3 when they get 18%.
So my question is, for people that are just everyday people, what are they going to set it at? Are they going to set it at 5 and leave it there, never switch their masteries? Or are they going to set it at 1 or 3?
I like it at 3 because 2 is good for 2 is good for arena and map 4, map 5, but 3 I feel like I need for AQ. So I leave it at 3.
yeah, if you are fighting a magic or a Dormammu, that bypassing of limbo and bypassing the degeneration from your dexterity buff is huge. And there is a video on the Analyzer's channel where he's in Labyrinth fighting Unstoppable Colossus, and he died, and he came in with the champion below 18%, and he had that 30% offensive ability accuracy reduction, and it didn't proc Unstoppable several times. And in that fight, you could see he's confused. He doesn't understand what's happening, and he figured it out afterwards.
Sure. This is one of those things where I think for the average player, I think 3 is more than enough. Even myself, I look at this, and this was something that one of my old alliances talked about. They're like, look, the amount that you're getting out of assassins at that point is so minimal. And there's enough other champions that we have to reduce abilities if that's really your concern. So, to me, 3 is the absolute most an individual should be doing. If you're just an everyday quest grinder, if you're just grinding quest, I think you're going to be okay there.
I'd say 1.
You think 1? I mean, I can understand doing a little extra just because, but
I think the average person's only going to put 1.
1?
If any.
Sure.
Yeah, it's probably the biggest damage increase you're going to notice from one single mastery point. Although it is 3 mastery points.
That's not accurate.
When you get to that 18% at the end of the fight?
Well, yeah, during the 18%, but over the course of the entire fight, it averages out to about it's less than 1.5% per hit throughout if you averaged it out for the whole 100%, which is why I recommend keeping it at 2 and putting the other 3 points in what's the one up top? Holy crap.
The one up top.
Yeah, on the top row to get to in front of recoil.
Recoil? Glass cannon?
Glass cannon. Because glass cannon gives you, 7.2% for every hit for the entire 100% of the fight.
Yeah, I guess you're right. But I'd say
I think that's a valid point.
If you're like me and you run only 6 points in defense, max out assassin.
Yeah, I mean, if you got it, and everything else is maxed out, why not? But the everyday player is just going to waste 20k damage, 15 to 20k damage with every hit at 18% if it's at 5.
Yeah. If you guys watch your defense, if you have a magic or a Dormammu as boss, watch how the kills start to stack up as they lose health, as they go into courage, as they go into assassins, and like limbo, and the generation just gets crazy on the damage.
And courage.
Yeah, I said courage.
Oh,
yeah.
My bad.
So again, guys, assassins is one of those things. If you're going into the longer fights, it's definitely something worth having. However, on your average fights, it's really not as important. So there's where you can run into a little bit of a difference. So, Quick Shot, thanks for coming on. Is there anything we want to hit up on the masteries before we get ready to head out of here? Because it is 2 a.m. and I am about to pass out.
Before the stream is over.
Yeah. I'll sleep. You guys take care of the stream. No, I'm just kidding. But no, seriously. As far as masteries go, that's the tail end here. What if you had to pick one mastery each of you? What mastery would you say is the most important and why? And let's start here with our guest, Quick Shot. Quick Shot, what do you got?
Dexterity.
Fair enough. Kind of hard to argue that one. And why is that?
Well, you can't always stun your opponent, so parry isn't always a really useful tool. And being able to avoid ranged attacks like L1, L2 from Iron Man, Gwenpool's L1 and L2, just an example because you have her as your profile. Other stuff like that.
Sure.
I'd say it's valuable. Except for Spite, if you don't have a power control champion, then that can totally screw you over.
Yes, it can. All right. Whoa. All right, let's see here. Bulldog, are you there?
Yep.
What do you got? If you had to pick one, what is your number one mastery? And it can't be dexterity now.
Well, it's got to be dexterity because that's the most important mastery in the game. The one point that Quickshot didn't hit on is there's another reason why you can't always parry, which is especially as you're getting into higher and higher opponents, you're taking damage with every one of those parries. And when you're especially if you're a newish player and you want to make a run at master level, you can't just parry over and over again, and you got to learn how to master that dexterity. Evading damage is the only sure way outside of Captain America and his shield to avoid taking damage. If I didn't say dexterity, the second most and really close behind it is parry, because those are the two skills to master that are going to change your game. I remember when I first got parry and learned how to start using it. I mean, it was night and day the amount of content that I could cover. And then, the third skill to learn is intercepting. It's almost like you're going to become a master player, you're going to do those three things in that order. First, you're going to learn how to avoid getting hit. Then you're going to learn how to time it so that you can parry and get hits off. Then you're going to learn how to not even let either one be necessary by intercepting your opponent. You master those three skills and you will be among the top players in this game.
Sure, makes sense.
Of course it does. I said it.
Frojo, you still with us?
No, he had to go deal with something.
I got you. Anthony. Here, now, we're going to make Chid go next. Chid, what's your next one? Can't be any previously used...
Chid's not in here.
That mother trucker.
He hasn't been in here for a while.
Oh, I forgot. I did see him leave. All right, Jacob, you're up.
So, are we doing it where we can't pick dexterity or... Okay.
Can't use anything that's been said previously.
Shoot. I would have to go with... Gosh. There's so many good ones now to choose from without those two. Probably glass cannon.
Oh, okay. So you say glass cannon there.
Really? More important than precision and cruelty?
Yeah.
And why is that?
You don't... If you have that boosted... What is it, 7.2%? Yeah, 7.2%. You can wait to get the cruelty and precision after unlocking the glass cannon, since it'll give you a base boost of 7.2%.
Yeah, except that you have to spend 15 points to be able to unlock glass cannon.
Yeah, but I just find it better than those two as well.
Okay. So you say glass cannon, all right? Interesting. Anthony, what would you put up?
Physical resistance. I highly recommend it to everybody. You will see a drastic decrease in the amount of damage you take over time.
Okay. So you're saying
one of the most valuable masteries they have that nobody likes to use.
And that's crazy because I haven't really seen it being used much, so very true. And I think we're down Frojo. He's out taking care of something. Wow. Here I'm going to go a little bit crazy here, and I don't have it, but I would say pacify. Well, no, I won't go pacify. I was going to say pacify because of magic, but again, you're really looking at one person. Ooh. I think we have to stay on the offensive side, and I don't even have it maxed out, and I should, realistically. But if you got the right champs, I think Deep Wounds is a massively important mastery. It gives you a lot of damage. Can really help end fights in a much shorter time frame, so it definitely makes sense. And like I said earlier, depending on where you're at, it should really have more points, especially like I look at my setup. I should look at dropping some out of my assassin, moving it into Deep Wounds, and I still have 3 points to slap around, so definitely got some things to do. And also, don't forget Mystic Dispersion. I know that's a little bit of a cheating one because it's kind of class specific, but it is a massive game changer in Alliance War. So, guys, I do appreciate everybody coming on and helping out. Quick shot. Again, we appreciate you showing up and chatting with us. Was there anything you wanted to say before you head out, man?
Yeah, my name just mentioned block proficiency. I was surprised no one said it.
True.
I mean, I only said dexterity because I went first. I'd be dexterity, parry, and block proficiency is probably the 3 most essential masteries in the game.
Good call. All right. Bulldog, anything before we head out?
No, can't think of anything to add. If you're if you're a newer player and you're up and coming, do not discount what a huge effect masteries will have on your game. They absolutely can change the course of the game, and I would leave you with exactly what I said is, learn to use dexterity. I actually recommend it like this: learn to use dexterity, then learn to use parry, then learn to intercept, then turn off dexterity for a couple of weeks and learn to play without it. Because you are going to come up against more and more stun immune champs, stun immune nodes. It is an essential skill to be able to know how to play without parry. Sorry, I think I said dexterity, I meant parry. Learn to play without parry. Learn to play with it, then learn to play without it. And that's where I'll leave it.
Excellent choice.
And last thing, this is why we don't spend units on crystals. Because masteries are very, very, very expensive to unlock, yet crucially important to your game.
They are. It is a massive. Can be a very massive game changer. It allows you to take champions and push them into whole new areas. It allows you to kind of unlock a champion's true ability, I guess you could say, so that they can actually do the things that they need to do. It's massive, it's important, and it's definitely something that you want to do. So don't sleep on your masteries, guys. It's a big difference maker. So jump on those, get them lined out, and if you want help, if you need help, don't hesitate to ask us. That's what we're here for. We've got the Line app. Send them in. I mean, guys, you're talking about a Frojo, Anthony, Jacob. More importantly, those guys, they sit around, they study it. They're good at it. Frojo and Jacob both play at very high levels. Anthony is a studying machine. Every time I turn around, he's studying some sort of aspect of the game. And what it's going to do to the player, to the champions. Is there a way to gig the system and put this into better use? So, guys, take advantage of that, and let them help you. So, all right.
Some people consider me to play at a very long level, not a high level, but a long level.
And Adam Marco's sending over a gift. Let's see, I got a full energy refill. Thank you. Oh, we got a note. It's a peace offering for everyone's jokes. LOL. Hey, man, I'm more than okay with it. I greatly appreciate it. And I have no problem coming in, people making jokes, picking on me. Believe me, I do a pretty good job of picking on myself. So, yeah, I jumped in today, grabbed a pair of shorts, grabbed my shirt, took off running downstairs. I changed, grabbed the shirt, threw it on, and I was like, son of a... And I was like, I'm not running back upstairs right now. Screw it. We'll go with the sleeveless shirt. I didn't want to offend anybody with all these guns popping around on the stream. I know some people are sensitive to gun stuff, but I decided everybody could handle them for tonight. And we'll just have to deal with it. So every so often there's just a gun show, That's all you can do. With that being said, Frojo, name a mastery that you feel is massively important, why it is, and then is there anything you want to touch on before we head out?
Deep wounds, running those bleeders, it helps them majorly. I love it. I think it's probably my favorite mastery to use, and I think that's all I got.
All right. See, look at how good that was. I was so good that Frojo picked the same one as me. Again, guys, look us up on the Line app. You can look me up. You can look any of the guys from my crew up. They'll be happy to help you. We've got a couple different. We've got one big chat going where you can get in there, ask questions, get some help. We ask that you put it to good use. Don't get in there and just spam it and cause headaches. The idea is for it to be a place where people can ask questions and continue to grow. So,
yeah, especially Carlos Mendez, right?
Yeah. What?
And we obviously don't have time tonight to go over it, but here I'll put my line ID in chat. I think I'm the guy you're looking for with physical resistance, so find me, and I will let you know everything I know about it. And here's my line ID.
All right, guys.
What is it? AWESM, right?
Yeah. Guys, Congress, my line ID is right there on the bottom of the layout, but it's just pretty simple. My line ID. Here's my Twitter.
And then, do we have a link to the SlycemGaming chat?
I don't think so yet.
All right, we'll get to that.
Don't do it that way, because people will pass the link around and sneak in that we don't want in. Trust me.
Yeah.
Good point.
Just have them invite you, and then you invite them.
There you go.
Okay. All right.
So there you go, guys. And then also you can follow the entire team on Twitter. We all have access to it, so you can ask any of us any questions. There you go. All right, guys. Again, we appreciate everybody coming out tonight, getting a chance to go over masteries. I hope it was helpful. I hope you guys learned something. We'll be taking a more in-depth look at maybe some of them later, and we'll be showing some of the things that we were talking about as far as the percentages and the returns. We've got some videos coming down the way. So, with that being said, thank you all again. We greatly appreciate it. And we'll be catching you guys next time. Best of luck on all your crystal pools, and we hope everyone has a good one. All right.
We off there?
In 3 seconds.
Bye, guys.
Everybody, take care. Adios. It's good to see you.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, thanks for coming again, Quick Shot. We greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, if you need anything, get my my Twitter.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm already following you.
Yeah, I think SlycemGaming is.